TruthSeekah and or its affiliates are not responsible for any strange phenomena that may occur during or after listening to this podcast, which may include the following: heightened senses of awareness, psychic abilities, UFO sightings, alien contact, time loss, out-of-body experiences, ringing in the ears, ESP, lucid dreaming, increased synchronicities, astral projection, telepathy, stronger intuition, levitation, miraculous healings, and or remote viewing. Please be advised to listen at your own discretion.
Won't you come and take me away? I just wanna be with you. Won't you come and take me away? To a place to walk on troubled seas, faith to stand when I don't believe. I just wanna be with you. Won't you come and take me away? I just wanna be with you. Won't you come?
You are now locked into the TruthSeekah podcast.
Gargoyles, psychics, everything's ungodly. Dark savage.
Streaming live at TruthSeekah.com.
She's not a Christian.
Give it up, y'all.
Your portal to the paranormal, esoteric, and all things spiritual.
She's tampering in dark-sided stuff.
And now, your host, TruthSeekah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard the man. I'm your host, TruthSeekah. We're back with another exciting episode of the TruthSeekah podcast. I'm excited and delighted to be here with you guys. Always, not just conversation, having people on the show where we talk about spirituality, how it works for them, how to implement it in life. Because like you said, if you just keep listening to what we're talking about, like if you just are into spirituality, if you're into occultism and knowledge and studying, but you can't implement it into your daily life and affect those around you, then I really don't care much about it. So I like to have people on here who are making a difference or making an impact in the lives of people and their family around them. So it's going to be a good episode. Trust me, stick with us. First of all, I got to give a huge shout out again, as always, to all the Patreon supporters, everybody who is helping me do what I'm doing now full-time, going full-time with podcasting, with music, graphic art, things like that. You can head on over to patreon.com/TruthSeekah, and there are different ways of giving there. So we have different monthly rewards that you can get, anywhere from $1 a month all the way to $5 to $10, whatever you feel comfortable with. And you get new music. You get exclusive music there. You get videos first before they come out and are available to the general public. People are messaging me all the time, TruthSeekah, when you're coming out with new music. Well, it's already out. It's on Patreon. It's just something a little bit extra for those who are supporting, kind of going above and beyond. So as soon as I get done with a song, I'll upload it to Patreon and it's there. And so there's a lot of people who are able to experience that. And it helps me do what I'm doing, and helps me fund this, make it available to everybody. It helps buy beats and pay producers and pay people to help us with videos. Trust me, we're stepping everything up. The video game is being stepped up. I'm working on some dope stuff right now, and I have to pay out of pocket. And so Patreon is the perfect model to help independent creators, independent musicians to pursue their passions and do what they love to do full time. And that's what I'm doing now. So a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart to all you guys on Patreon. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on my guest, because we had a conversation a couple years back. We did an interview, and it was really good. We touched on some good topics. The audio quality wasn't really there. It was some hiccups and stuff. We were live with it. But so we're going to probably revisit some of those questions, because we had some good times back then. And also, we're going to take your phone calls as well. So if you guys would like to, the phone number is streaming across the top of the video, and it's in the description. So give us a call. You can ask a question or just say hello. So without further ado, Disl Automatic, get big on them.
Yeah, you know what we do. What up, fam?
Man, welcome to the show, brother. Thanks for coming on, hanging out with me, man.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we had a really good conversation the last time, and I want to kind of maybe revisit some of that stuff.
Right.
There's so many things we could talk about, and we were talking before we went live, and I was just itching to click the go live button, because even like I said, in the small talk about how things work and things operate and how you make a living as an independent artist and little things like that, I think that it makes for good conversation to get people to know how to help support, and that their support is needed and it doesn't go unnoticed. Everybody who clicks share on Facebook, even as just simply doing that, man. Talk a little bit about going full time, man. Like, how did you get to start doing what you're doing and get to the place you are now, as far as like doing what you're doing full time?
All right. Yeah. Well, truth be told, I've been able to do it for a while, just because I've been in a fortunate situation. Had a little bit of an inheritance, a little bit of investment. So, I don't, by no means do I come from any type of rich family or nothing like that. But like, we had here where I'm at, we had land that my grandfather acquired basically like for nothing. And because back then the land here wasn't worth anything. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Nobody was thinking about anything in terms of, oh, maybe one day it'll be worth something. And it did end up being worth something. So got a little bit of money from that, a little investment in real estate and whatnot. So been able to do it, thankfully, and my parents have helped me out throughout my life a lot. I can't even front on that. And I mean, just being born into the situation that I was born in. So, and at this point, it's just, for me, it's all about being able to just be comfortable, live a comfortable life. So I've had that opportunity to, have the basic necessities of life, covered. And, I have my own apartment, I don't pay rent. So, it's, I've definitely been fortunate, just born in the right place at the right time. But, now I've definitely been able to, in terms of making some kind of money from the music, I've definitely been able to step that up as well over the past years. And really, I mean, it's not really no secret to it. I mean, I just, just been grinding, fam, just been putting out good content, quality music.
Yeah.
And, of course, I mean, I've been able to link up with people like really in the beginning, Global Faction from the UK. That was a huge, that was a huge boost for me in terms of, because obviously when it comes to the money that's being made, I mean, it's all about the supporters, and the more supporters you have, the more money you're able to get. And so that was definitely a big thing that really put me out there to a lot of people. And then after that, it was really just a matter of just grinding and putting out a lot of music, for free. And really, I mean, like, to me, it's been donations. People are unbelievable. Like you were talking about Patreon, I really haven't gotten into that, but I just do the donations on my website, and I mean, people are, like, I can't even, I mean, I'm talking about, I put out a project and somebody comes and blesses me with, $100, $150, 20, 10, 50, 5, 1, whatever.
Yeah, it adds up, man.
Yeah, and that's been big. And then, of course, merchandise sales, like, sold a lot of merchandise over the years. And, and then doing features here and there, that's got to given a little bit. And really, for me, any artist will tell you, it's really the shows and the touring, which I haven't been able to do.
I know, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of put me at a disadvantage in terms of that. So I will be, speak it to existence. You know what I'm saying? I will be heading out either later this year or early next year around Europe, different destinations, basically wherever I can go. And so that's, I would like to, I don't know if you want to, because I definitely, the making the money from what we do is an important topic. And so many people, I think, misunderstand it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people have this idea that, that we should, as raptivists, as activists, as conscious, or whatever, that, like, we shouldn't even be making any money off of it. And that's like that's crazy to me. I mean, what, first of all, let's not even talk about the time and energy and the money that we've invested into it. You know what I'm saying? But to me, it's like, first of all, anybody who says that, like, oh, you say you're against money and this, but you're making, wait a second, what do you do for a living? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm making money off of it, but it's a genuine, honest, truthful way of doing it. And I'm not sure. I got, we got to use Google and Facebook and different corporations, but in the end of the day, I ain't working for them. I'm not working for a corporation. I'm my own boss. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody wants to point that finger at me, it's like, hold up, because let's keep it 100. If you're not off the grid completely, because even if you're off the grid, you could still use money. I'm talking about off the grid, no using money, no buying nothing from no companies, no corporations. Like, we live in the system. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to somehow make money, earn a living, do whatever we got to do. And in the end of the day, like, I was actually on a podcast a few days ago, and I was talking about this just in short. Like, I would love to make a lot of money, earn a lot of money from what I do. And let me tell you why. Because Disl Automatic would never be a millionaire. I could earn $1 billion, and I ain't gonna be a millionaire because I'm gonna use that money to help others. Oh, but you're just perpetuating the cycle of the monetary system. Listen to those people who say that. Let me tell you something. You know what I'm saying? If you have the opportunity right now, because we are living in a world right now where people are suffering, people, animals, everybody. And the only thing that can really help them is money. And that is the reality of the world we live in this situation right now. Yeah. So anybody who says otherwise, so if you have the opportunity, you see somebody and they're starving and you could bless them with $100, $1,000, $25, whatever, are you going to say no because I'm against the monetary system? What does that make you then, fam? Yeah. What is that? You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, but never compromising my integrity. That is the key. Not selling out, not changing a damn thing that I do so that I can make money. But if I'm able to, in an honest, genuine way where people are simply saying, yo, Disl, we love what you do, fam. Here's our blessing in the form of this fiat money, albeit still. So then I could go build an animal sanctuary. You know what I'm saying? Help people out. Help, look at Immortal Technique. He made schools in Afghanistan and shit. Like, he did that with money that he made from his music. Yeah. So it's like people be tripping off. You know what I'm saying? Like, off all types of stuff. So in the end of the day, because you'll never see Disl Automatic taking his money from and buying a fancy car and stunting and buying jewelry. Nah, fam. Like, first, I'm going to help myself because, yes, I have a dream that I would like to build a home up in the mountain, off the grid, solar powered, and you need money to do that. Yeah. It's a long-term investment to be off the grid, and eventually I would even like to make a community up there and make for people to either come and stay, visit, whatever they want to do, So first off, each individual has to take care of themselves. And then once you do that, you can help out others. Isn't that the ultimate goal? And as much as I hate, the monetary system and fiat money and all of that, like, that shit ain't going anywhere anytime soon. So if you're trying to just sit around and be complacent and not try to get money so you can help other people with it, then you're going to die a person who has never really, you can still help other people without money. I'm not saying you can't, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're going to die waiting for it because that shit is not going anywhere anytime soon, my people, believe me. Yeah. So there's people that desperately, living beings, creatures, animals, humans, whatever you believe in and whoever you want to help out. I'm vegan, of course, so I'm thinking about everyone and everything. And a lot can be done with money. A lot right now. You go and tell You go and tell a person that is starving to death, a person that is dehydrating. You go and tell them, nah, fam, nah, that's fiat money. Nah, you don't need that. Tell them that.
Yeah.
Don't tell me.
Yep.
So
exactly, man. I think it's a really touchy subject for some people, but we got to look at it like this. It's safe to say that that myself, and a lot of people that we run with, we do have a nice audience, a nice fan base, and to many people, I get this all the time. They say that I'm their favorite rapper, or my favorite rapper is Disl Automatic, right? So just think. And this was my case just a month ago. People would say that TruthSeekah, man, you're my favorite rapper, and they see what we're doing in the videos and the podcasts and everything we're doing is quality stuff. It rivals that stuff that's on the radio, like the quality, the videos, all of it. And so they see us, and then they're like, I would tell people, they want to know what you do for a living or when are you going to tour where they live, when you come into where I live, and I'm like, I'm a full-time truck driver. And this was my story about a month ago. I'm a full-time truck driver, and you should see the look of shock on their face when they find out that their favorite rapper, their favorite artist in the universe, like you are, they feed off of your lyrics and your creativity and what you bring to the table, and you find out that person is stuck at a 9-to-5 and it's not. It kind of, I don't know if it like diminishes the light or it brings things into perspective of what the music industry is and how we're able to make money and pay bills. And because I mean, some months I barely make anything off of the music at all. Right. So when they find out that your favorite artist is a truck driver or works for a trash company, this is the case for many people that they have to pay bills and stuff. And so for people to think that you shouldn't get paid off of it, or to think that, and I want to encourage everybody who helps promote what we're doing, because you guys are helping us to keep the lights on. You guys are helping us to pay the bills and to pay the producers and the beat makers and stuff. And that stuff goes a long way. Even if you don't have any money to help put into what we're doing, the share button. It doesn't cost any money to click that share button, to share it, to market it, to show people your music and stuff. And so that was a really weird thing, even for me, to be okay to show it, because some of my people were like, "Hey, man, you probably shouldn't tell people that you're a full-time truck driver,
right? Because
they think you're this spiritual guru and you're this deep individual, but yet you drive a truck." They were telling me not to tell people, not to be real, and just, hey, this is my story. This is where I am. Right. This is where I hope to be. I'm not driving a truck anymore. God kind of pushed the buttons to open up the door for me to kind of step out and pursue this full time. And that's what I'm doing. I would have never quit my job with a wife and a daughter who I'm supporting. I would have never quit my job to hopefully make money online. So the things happened to where I had to kind of step out in faith and jump. And that's what we're doing now. So all the support helps, man, Yeah,
man, that's what I'm saying. Like, like I said, man, I've been fortunate, but hey, I know what I have now put away, that ain't gonna last forever. So I'm still striving to ultimately, have this as a, I do it full time now because I'm able to, because I have something put away. I've been fortunate enough, but that ain't gonna last forever. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm grinding. So that I want to do, because like you said, you was a truck driver. If somebody, that's the thing, people who have a problem with someone earning a living from this, music, raptivism, conscious, whatever you want to call it.
They're rather you drive the truck.
Yeah, would you rather have me go now and work at McDonald's?
Exactly.
Or, I mean, we don't have McDonald's in this country, thankfully. You know what I'm saying? Like, would you rather have me go and have to work at a bank? Or, what would you have me do? You know what I'm saying? So, and I also wanted to, add, like, when it comes to, what was I going to say? With the money, it's, it slipped my mind, fam, because it was an important point I wanted to make. Whatever, it'll come back to me. If it comes back to me, I'll just revert back to the top.
Yeah. I want to note this. I've been doing spiritual music for a while now, right? started off, it was a progression, right? It was getting into doing like the political stuff. Let's do rallies. Let's get out there and protest and shake our fists and stuff like that. A lot of people do that, and it works for them.
I'm sorry, fam.
Go ahead.
It just came. I knew it was going to. That the most important aspect of money is, yes, money is fiat money. When we use it, we contribute to the system. But people need to understand. People say money is evil. No, money is not evil. Money, yes, now it has become a form of enslavement, debt, obviously. But really, money is just supposed to be a symbol, represent, so that, okay, back in the days, I have this, you have that. We want to trade. It's just another form of trading or bartering, whatever you want to call it. So it's like, yo, if someone finds value in what we do and they don't have necessarily something that, because hey, look, if you want to show me love, you don't have to give me money. Maybe you got, if you're around my way, you got some fresh produce or some good vegan food, holler at your boy. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, so it's like, it's not even, it's not evil. It is what it is. It's trading. It's trading services. You know what I'm saying? And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like I'm always, I try to always support people and, hit them off with money when I can. And, just,
I love to help people too.
Some other kind of way, let me copy an album or donate or whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And there's so many different ways to help in every situation. But money is one of the biggest ways. I can't tell you just doing
and I'm sorry to interrupt. A big thing too is aside from the aspect of, oh, you're conscious in this and you're against money, but you make money. Just the way that creativity is not valued in society. It pisses me off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be doing whatever, I mean, first of all, look at in schools, when they got to cut programs, they cut in the arts, they cut in the crafts, they cut, creativity is just in general of all sorts, not just rapping. It's not valued. You know what I'm saying? Like true creativity, sure, you got mainstream music and these cats that is making money, but even like this, bro, like you could tell somebody right now, I promise you, I tell a lot of people, oh, what do you do? I do music. Oh, you make money from it? Yeah, I make money from it. Yeah. And they still don't, they don't take it serious. I guarantee, I could tell, you could tell, it's like, oh, all right, that's cool. But I guarantee what do you do I work at this office. Oh, great. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole reaction is different. Even the only way people in society will even take you seriously as like an artist, and if you make it, is if they know you. If they've heard you on the radio, seen you on TV, then it's like, oh, okay. Oh, then your creativity is legit. You know what I'm saying? Even if you just making a living, decent, you comfortable, making some money, whatever it is, it's because it's so, you know what I'm saying? It's been so devalued in society. And I don't think that's coincidental. Creativity is a revolutionary act. It's a spiritual act. I mean, I tell people all the time, when I'm creative, when I'm coming up with lyrics or when I'm freestyling off the top of the dome, that's meditation. That's being at one with all in existence. I don't come up with my rhymes. They come to me. They flow through me.
I know, right?
You know what I'm saying? It's freedom, bro. It's freedom. And they don't want us to feel that. They don't want us to experience that. You know what I mean?
I have a crazy burden where I have to create art. Like I'll go insane if I don't create and bring and manifest something that's within me and a part of me and bring it out. Even though it gets harder because you keep stepping the bar up. Okay, here's the bar. I made a song that did really good. I love the quality of the production, the rhyming scheme, and I took a lot of time. I can't go below that bar. I gotta go. You gotta match it or be greater, and that's what I try to match all my songs to that standard to have this level. I can't go below it, but so you have to wrestle with these songs sometimes, right? Okay, what can I do to make it more intricate, to go deeper? Like I wrote a song the other day, and the first half of the verse, it's good, but it's not. I could do better, so I got to go back. I'm not gonna put it out. I got to go back. And but the feeling that you get once that song is done and you birth something into the universe, into existence that would have never existed if you didn't toil over it, that you didn't work hard over it and put effort and energy and breathe into it and create it. Now it's here. Now we get to kind of experience it, and other people get to step into your realm and know what's going on in your mind, in your heart, and the way you articulate things. And many people are going, like, having spiritual encounters and stuff through our music, or being inspired to pursue their dreams from listening to a song, or finding out about concepts like the song we did together, Bust Back. At the very end of the song, I mentioned, seek God on a mushroom experience. And they're listening to a political song, and at the end, we're like, hold up, this dude just ended the song. Just dropping this nugget in there about, psychedelics and ayahuascas and stuff like that. So it piques the creativity, and like it inspires people, man. And you can't, there is no price tag on that. So, and I think that's what
it's magic, bro.
It is magic. It's alchemy. And I think that's what people are paying for. And that's what people, because like the supporters are coming out the woodwork. When I got released from my job and I started to pursue this full time, like the supporters really did start coming out. Like those who like really believe in me, and they're like, okay, we want you to succeed, and what do we need to do? Like people are coming out, and it's awesome, man. So to birth something into existence that didn't exist, that's magic.
Yeah, and to me that's something like I'm always, going back to the money, even like, the fact that, people could have jobs, they could have creative and businesses, but when you and you get money, but when you are artistic and you literally are just coming up with something like just out of your own fucking mind and soul, and you put it out there and people value it so much that they'll even pay for it.
Yeah.
All it really, for me, what it boils down to, because my music, as I'm sure is the same for you, all it is me. It's just me.
Yeah.
It's me being me. It's a reflection of myself. And to be able to have people value that and whatever, find inspiration, because that's really the biggest payout. Like, we got into talking about money, and that, of course, like, that's a blessing. But in the end of the day, that nothing is as valuable to me, as when somebody tells me that, my music has changed their life.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Or inspired them in some type of way.
Makes it all worth it.
Yeah, I posted the other day, a dude hit me up and just left a comment, like just a simple comment, and it not made my day. It totally just, I can't, but it's something as simple as he said, yo, your music gives me faith in humanity, and it helps keep me and others off drugs.
Yeah.
Like, and I posted, like, I used to do the opposite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I used to do the exact opposite.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In the street, and the music that I made back in the day also glorified and perpetuated that.
Yeah.
So now to do the exact opposite and have somebody like, I'm like, yo, I need to go and holler at the judge. Like, look at that now. Look at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all try, you thought I wouldn't be shit. Like, so that to me is just the most fulfilling, and people just, changing the way they think. But really, to me, honestly, man, the best is because the knowledge that we share, the information, what that's, in the end of the day, yes, we put it out there in a appealing way, but at the end of the day, it ain't nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
I didn't come up with this stuff. I learned it, I researched it, I came up with it. I just found a way to formulate it and put it into a way that people could vibe,
conceptualize it.
So right, and in the end of the day, I can't really, what people do with that knowledge and information, I don't know. But when somebody just simply says, yo, you inspire me and you make me happy and bring some type of light to my life on a daily basis. And oftentimes it's not even with my music. It's just with posts that I post on Instagram or wherever. You know what I'm saying? It could just be that. And that shit will just, that's what keeps me going. Because look, back to the money. Anybody could say whatever they want about me, but anybody who knows, not even just knows me and what I'm capable of as an MC, anybody who knows music bro, if I wanted to make money, I would have gone commercial.
Exactly.
I would have gone commercial and I'd be balling right now.
Yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't be the biggest star, but there's a huge market that I would have
party music. For
music. For any commercial, whatever, bro. If I was just on the same shit I used to be on, just talking about, yeah, I'm getting money, I'm hustling, I'm da da da. Even if I wasn't doing it anymore, like all these rappers, they faking, fronting, and stunting. So, you know, if I wanted to make money, believe me, I would not be doing what I'm doing if it was not if I wanted to make money, because I would like to. I appreciate that. But if that's all it was, and I just wanted to get rich, I would not be out here on every single song. Ain't nobody ever heard a song from me, fam. Ain't no one ever heard a song from me that strays away from some type of, you know, you got these rappers out now, they drop conscious things, but then they go back to, I got
Yeah.
Now one single out of hundreds of songs that I put out. You know what I'm saying? So all that money talk, all that that's dead to me. That's invalid completely, because I could have easily, by now I really been, okay, I put out the first mixtape 2012. But that was just like, put it out. And what, you know, I really, since the second 2014, have really been like grinding. If then, even, I mean, forget 2012, even since 2014, if I just was like, you know, putting out this mainstream shit, I'd be making way more than I'm making now. Like, way more. You know what I'm saying? As would you.
Yeah. Because
we're all talented enough. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that you know, in the fam and that I rep with and that I get down with, everyone's got the talent to do it if they wanted to, you know. So I don't think anybody can question our integrity, regardless of what kind of money we may or may not make from this shit.
Yeah. Talking about the impact, man. When I first started doing music, I chose a spiritual path back in pretty much 2000, right? And I got into the church, and you know my story. When we started out doing gospel music, right? So we did gospel music for years, and one of the even back then, like the biggest compliment I got performing or doing shows or listening, having music out, people would say, when I listen to your music, I can feel the Spirit of God, or I can feel the Holy Spirit. I get these goosebumps and chills that all over my body, and it rocks me down to the core, and I feel a peace from your music. And so when I kept doing, just evolving and doing the more spiritual stuff, I still get that response. And it's not religious, it's straight spiritual. It's speaking to the war that goes on within the hearts of men and women, man. And so it's speaking to something really deep. And even to this day, like, that's the biggest compliment that I get and I look for, is that, okay, my music is touching people. Like, it's magical, like you said. And it's really weird that I'm privileged to, like, I get these comments and that people are being taken on spiritual journeys and taken to different places and learning things and meditating to the music, and stuff's happening in their lives, spiritual, supernatural things. And it's pursuing people to pursue their dreams and what they have inside of them, and create and just being creative and all that stuff, man. So that's the stuff that matters to me. And you know what I'm saying? The money, if there's any money that's made from it, it goes back into it now at this point. So it's like you said, it's not about living lavish or having all this money and stuff like that. So, but I will say that the money comes into play, and I can't tell you the feeling that I get when I do have some extra money. Because I do websites and stuff on the side too, so I make my money that way. So to have some extra money that's not going straight back to the bills and stuff, but to go out to eat and see a young couple sitting down eating and pay their tab, pay their bill, and not even speak to them. Like, we can speak and make a confrontation, or just, hey, this is what it's coming from. I'm blessed and God loves you, or whatever. Just speak an encouraging word to them, or just do it out the blue and just know that you made that person's day, man. You know what I'm saying? And just to look for ways like that, whether it's money or even if you don't have money, just saying little positive things to people, just trying to I say it all the time, but just to try to make somebody's walk a little bit more easier, so make somebody else's walk a little bit more comfortable, to let them know that they're loved, to let them know that you believe in them, and to really to connect them with that universal power, universal source. Let them know that they're not alone in this thing, man. That there is power, there is universal law. You do reap what you sow. What you speak does come into fruition and come into existence, and there's power behind it. And we teach that in our music. I think our lives are examples of that.
Definitely, man. I'm on a, and it's all, I think people think of spiritual, and it has to be, they have this like grand notion of, but it don't have to be like that. It don't have to be that deep, just being kind is such a spiritual and revolutionary act. Like, actually just, was it today or yesterday? I can't remember, but, there's a woman at the gym, and, I'm very observant. I talk to people. I'm very, communicative and, friendly with people. And something to me, just simple as this, the woman, she had a new hairdo, and I commented, I said, "Oh, you got a new hairdo. It looks nice."
Yeah.
Her face lit up. She was so happy. That probably made her day, her week. You know what I'm saying? Like, something is, even though, okay, it's superficial, I don't care. It doesn't always have to be that deep. It's not really about that.
Yeah.
I know all of that, but still, I made her feel great. And there's no telling what that could lead to, what other things, you know what I'm saying? Once you break past the surface, so something as simple as that. And of course, obviously helping people out. I mean, I'm always, older people here in my building, helping them with their groceries, whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you see someone on the street, maybe give them some money. That's kind of standard. Everybody kind of, but my point is, just being kind, a kind word, a smile. Especially here where I live, I mean, people are kind of known to be, negative, like kind of, and it's understandable. It's a fairly poor country. The standard of living is very low. The pays aren't very good and things like that. So people aren't always that happy. And so, how many times I go to a store or just whatever, and they'll be like, "Oh, how well, first I'll always be like, 'Hey, how are you today?' 'Oh, I'm all right. How are you?' I'm like, 'Oh, I'm great.' Oh, that's great to hear. Like they hardly, they don't ever hear it. Yeah. But even just that, I think, can help somebody. They'd be like, "Oh, this person's doing
another
really
day,"
good.
Because that's what you hear all the time. Another day, same shit, different day. Like that's the saying.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm just here. I'm just existing. I'm just barely making it. But that is a lot of people's reality, though, man. We got to kind of.
No doubt. And look, and I completely. That's the thing. I would never. Again, I'm very fortunate, even without the music, and I've never had to struggle like that, like financially. I've had struggles in different ways, and very difficult ones, and hardships in different ways. But financially, I've never struggled. I've never known what it's like to really be hungry. Like my mother, for example, when she was young, she knew what that was like. You know what I'm saying? Like they was living up in the mountain with not much. They weren't starving, but she might go extended periods of time without eating. I've never known that. I could go right now and go eat whatever I want to. Never be hungry, never be thirsty. I won't say I never will be, because you never know what can happen, but I never have been. You know what I'm saying? I've never even had to, be like, "Oh, damn, how am I going to pay my bills this month?" I've never had none of that, So I can never tell somebody who is in those situations, "Oh, just be positive." That's ridiculous to me. That's condescending and arrogant, and coming from a privileged standpoint. Like, sure, I could have a conversation with them, and maybe if they want to and they're receptive to it, and maybe try to put things in a certain perspective. Because even if I haven't been in that situation, doesn't mean that I can't understand it and I can't empathize with them, and that I know people who have been. I know how people have dealt with it. That's the thing. Just because you yourself, I seen a saying somewhere, the smart people like learn from their mistakes or their experiences. Geniuses learn from others' experiences and mistakes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So not saying I'm a genius or anything like that, but you know, you can learn a lot. You don't have to experience everything to know about it. You could see other things. So anyway, point is, you know, those people in those kind of situations, I'm not ever gonna sit there and be like, oh well, just be positive. You know, but you know, because I definitely understand it's not easy. I can only imagine. It's not, you know, how, you know, I got homies right now, you know, close homies that are in very difficult situations, financially struggling to get by, and they doing everything they can to remain positive, and they're doing a good job of it, you know. And I can only be there to support them and to, at times when they seek it, to, you know, offer some perspective and, you know, whatever it may be. But I would never tell them, oh, come on, man, just, you know, just snap out, just be positive. Like, nah, fam, you know, that to me is, you know.
It's funny you say that, because you're coming from that, I guess, almost privileged, and you don't have to struggle, you know, or you.
It's definitely privileged.
Yeah.
But let's keep it real though.
Yeah.
But privilege is in fact relative though. You know, you got somebody. There are these people here. Okay, and I've told people here that they might complain, and I have some type of relationship, so I feel open enough to say, hey, listen, are you hungry? Are you starving? No. Are you dehydrated? No. Do you have a home to live in? Yeah. Okay, you're privileged. Yeah. It's not that bad for you, man. It's all relative. But yes, all things considered, I am privileged. So, I say fortunate. That's the term I'm more prefer. Yeah. But you know, I'm just because I feel like nowadays privilege is it's a very loaded word. You know, you got which it doesn't have to be. It's okay. You know, the privileges. There's nothing wrong with that, but we should acknowledge.
No, definitely.
I mean, it is wrong to have privilege that you know when it's societal and it's structural, like white privilege and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Male.
Well, I'm just saying.
That's a whole different discussion, but in this sense, I know what you're saying. I'm definitely
in that area. So I find it kind of interesting that you wouldn't tell people just to be positive, and then, but I would, coming from the struggle, I would say, hey man, be positive. We're gonna keep hoping for a better tomorrow. But I think you're saying that you wouldn't just say that and keep going.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't, and I like all things. It would have to be somebody that I have some type of, you know, rapport with. That I know. Okay, but even then, I know
stay positive and keep moving. Yeah.
Well, there's something I've learned. You know, I learned a lot of this with my with synthesis. Big up synthesis.
Yeah.
You know, just I've learned when to listen and when to speak.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes your wisdom and your positive, it's not necessary. A lot of times people just need to fucking vent.
Yeah.
And just have you, myself included.
Yeah.
And that's why one of the worst things is when you just need to vent. Like sometimes even on social media, I'll post something and I'm maybe just venting, and right away here come don't focus on the negativity. Fam. Are you a beacon of shining light every single minute of the day? Like, I'm just keeping it real. I have fleeting thoughts that may perceive as negative emotions, whatever. It's okay to express them. And I want to express them. And I know the bigger picture. I know all of it in relative terms, the perspective. I get it. But right now, I just need to fucking complain and vent. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it really is about to me, knowing when, okay, you know, this person just needs to let off some steam and they just need somebody to say, you know what? Yeah, you're right. It is fucked up.
Yeah.
You are in a shitty situation, fam. That sucks for you. And I really empathize with you and I feel bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, completely, 100%. You're right. You know, sometimes that is more valuable and what people need more than me coming in and trying to be like, no, listen, this is how you got to be positive. Sometimes they just need to get it out and to have someone receive it and say, you're right. You know what? To feel where they're coming from. And then oftentimes that could free them up to finding on their own the other perspectives.
Yeah.
Which, let's be real, everybody likes to find things out on their own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To feel like they came up with it. They figured it out, So that's really what, what I'm saying. I definitely will, when the time is right, when I feel, oh, of course, bro, I definitely, try to put that positive perspective on people for sure. And sometimes, quite frankly, I may even do it when it's not I'm not perfect. Sometimes I may be like, come on, let's just be positive. Like it could be worse. A lot of times here too, people are very, it's known here that people complain a lot about their situation. So like, if somebody is, like I have an aunt and she's older and she's in an unfortunate situation. She had a stroke and she's, and she's very, self-pitying, and which is understandable. But like with her, oftentimes I got to be like, look, it could be way worse. Like there are people way worse. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah.
Sometimes the self-pity, it's hard for me to feel really sorry for people who feel so sorry for themselves, regardless of what their situation is. I do, but then I'm like, all right, come on now,
There's a scripture in the Bible, man, coming from the church realm. There's a scripture that says God is not the author of confusion. So people would take that coming from the church realm and say, look, if there's any confusion, then it's not of God and it's not good because God's not the author of confusion. But to understand that, so they look at confusion as a bad thing. I like to look at the good side of confusion and say that you're not going to search for the answers until you find yourself in a state of confusion or a state of questioning, man. So to understand the alchemy behind that, to like, if you don't know what's going on, like that's a really good place for you to be. Because there you know that, okay, it's time to ask the bigger questions. It's time to start looking for the answers. Whether it's financially, many people in that boat, relationship-wise, what am I doing? How am I messing things up? Why doesn't this work? And you're just confused, man. But to be in that place to start asking the bigger questions and looking for those answers, man, it's a good place.
Oh, of course. That's basically everything you just said is the starting point of all knowledge is not knowing.
Yeah.
I mean, it all revolves around, if your cup is full, you can't gain new information.
Yeah.
He who thinks he knows it all knows the least. You know what I'm saying? And that's what ignorance is. And that is, unfortunately, a big problem that we face and that's one thing, bro, I know. They've always, you got all the wise philosophers who say, hey, the most intelligent people, they know that they know nothing. And I swear, bro, it's been this way for a long time. But the older I get, maybe the wiser, the more knowledgeable, the more I'm just like, I do not know anything. And sometimes it's a dilemma for me because here I am, an activist and wanting to be, but then it's this, paradox. I'm like, okay, there's this information and this stuff that I feel like is necessary but then on the other hand, I'm like, but I don't even know what I am and where I came from and what this reality is for sure and what everything is. And ultimately, I don't know anything. And what the fuck am I even doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, it becomes this whole big, just knowing that, of course, like, and I think we do know things for sure, certain things based on concepts that we as humans have created. And for now, we can stick to that. If we want to get really deep, I mean, I'm one who says even our science that we say this is science. Hold on. First of all, the basic premise of science is that science is always proving itself wrong. That's how science evolves. So now you got these scientists and these people based in science who say, no, this is the science now. This is what it is, the end all be all, the absolute. Then you shouldn't be a fucking scientist.
I can't stand Neil Tyson deGrasse, man. I can't stand
him. Yeah, no, look, he drops knowledge, but yeah, he's one of the arrogant type. Like, this is science.
This is a
Fam,
fact.
look back when the science said the you know, all types of crazy shit that now, of course, is not science. So, but even that, you know, our science that's based on math, numbers, geometry, you know what I'm saying? All of these things. Yet and still, sure, I do believe there are universal principles, but everything we know is still based on our very, very limited understanding of these things. Some otherworldly entity, alien, interdimensional being could come and could laugh at our science and could say, y'all are just barely scratching the surface. It's like a kindergartner who just learned how to fucking spell and read, and them thinking that they know how to write Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And then Shakespeare comes and says, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I mean by we don't really know anything.
Yeah.
Because
even when we think we have it figured out.
Wrong. Yeah, science is always proving what we know wrong. It's always evolving. So how can we right now say anything for sure? But that's all we have to work with for now. So, you know, when it comes to especially like, okay, there are certain things that are true, like statistics. Okay, when we talk, for example, I talk about the war on drugs a lot. Hey, when I say, you know, incarceration rates, usage, overdosing, availability, prices, when I talk about all these things that have gone down or up, you know, that negatively reflect the war on drugs, those are facts, those are statistics. I don't care about who created this world and what, that doesn't matter. Those are statistics. Those are facts. There's no debating that. You know, in that sense, numbers don't lie. You feel me?
It gets but even in that world, it gets it gets muddy too, because we're like, okay, well, who's behind it? Who started it? Who really is perpetuating it? Who's out here in the government? Oh, so you think your cops are working for you? No, these guys are actually putting drugs on the street. No, these guys are pulling you over to confiscate drugs for them to use for themselves. It just gets muddier and deeper, and stuff that's happening that you don't know. So to act like, okay, this is it and this is only it, it just, there's so many levels, and we judge everything off of what we perceive, and we think this is the reality when it always every area goes deeper. Yeah.
No, definitely. Those are kind of more like, that's more, you know, obviously, you know, I'm deep on the war on drugs, just using it as a sample without really getting in too deep into it. But those are more kind of like abstract that you can't really, but for example, you know, when we talk about Black people in America, Black men in particular, being disproportionately arrested for drug, you know, that is fucking black and white. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like we could argue, well, why is that? Is it because the cops are racist or what? You know, I definitely have but that stat line, there's no arguing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, now what you say, one of the things I always find funny is like when they do like surveys or and they kind of want to base statistics on that. Like, oh, well, you know, you'll see and it's all what's the word? Sensational headlines.
Yeah.
Men now found, you know, men believe that this kind of women are sexy or whatever it may be. And okay, you're gonna make a generalization for all men based on a survey of how many people? You know, how many variables, how many factors come into that? You know what I'm saying?
You know what kind of brings that into light is we watch Family Feud all the time.
Yeah.
And the answers like, what?
Yeah.
These are who y'all talking to?
Yeah,
you guys are coming up with these answers. Like they said, they surveyed 100 people. Where? Who said that was what they like? This is weird, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think they survey people. I think they just writers or something come up with that stuff.
for Family Feud for sure, but probably even for some of these, you know,
the statistics, because there's people who will debate you even what you just said, and I've seen them do it about the proportional numbers with the arrest rates or the cop killings. They're saying that, cops are killing more white people than black, and they can show you statistics and prove. And there's people who that's what they do, and they try to make those cases. But I don't know, man. I don't know if it's something new. I definitely know that we now have the ability to film it, and everything's on the internet now, and everybody has a smartphone. So I think that this stuff has been going on for sure, but now it's all over the internet. Like, people are filming it, and they're taking advantage of the technology to kind of show the injustices and stuff. And when it comes, I think my simple factor with the the black guys being shot for just moving wrong or putting their hands up and still being shot. Like, these people are scared to death of black guys, man. Like,
absolutely.
Like, first of all, they're scared, and they're racist too. So there's that.
Yeah.
And it's just like the ones where the guy tells you to go in the car and get your wallet, show me your ID. You go back to the car to get your wallet, and he unloads on you. It's like, this dude he's scared to death. He's scared for his life.
Scared. And they should not be police officers.
Exactly.
Like, that's the thing. Just the fact that people don't understand, like, just the fact that those white cops are scared of black people is racist.
Yeah.
Even you don't have to have hatred in your heart towards black people to be racist. Mm-hmm. Just the fact that you have this preconceived notion, and it's not even their fault a lot of times, because that's what society pushes. That's the propaganda. Like, yo, I live here in this country where it's all white people. And how many times I got to check people because they'll talk about black people and they base it off of movies they've seen. And they think all black people are gangsters and criminals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I got to be like, fam, that's not. Yeah. And that's what a lot of these cops think, too. You know what I'm saying? So, but off jump, the main, without getting, obviously, there's so much to get into when it comes to that issue in terms of systemic racism and structural violence and these things and the police. But ultimately, my main thing is that police officers need to be way, way better evaluated, trained, prepared, selected. It needs to, honestly, I think the first, as soon as there's the technological advancement where robots can be fully functional, police officers should be robots on everything. Like, I ain't for no transhumanism or whatever. But there will be robots in society, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, we're turning into those robots.
Well, that's one thing. But that's another thing. People think technology. No, technology is neutral. It is not inherently good or bad. Yeah. Robots could be amazing. For example, police robots, because they will not have any bias unless they program them to, which you never know with this crazy. But let's assume they don't. Yeah. They will not have any bias. They will not have fear. They will stick to the strict protocol. And you know how different it would change things when it comes to law enforcement if they were literally robots.
Yeah.
Well, let me not say robots, machines, because a lot of people don't know the word robot actually comes from the Slavic word, which I'm of Slavic descent, for the word is robota or rabota, which means slave. And even now in my language, rabota means work, but it actually means servitude. Yeah. But people will say like rabota for work. And actually, another thing people don't know, the word slave means Slav. Because for those who don't know, the Slavic subjugation of the Slavs happened almost 1,000 years before, the African slave trade.
Yeah.
And a lot of the tactics they used and the way that they went about the African slave trade was based on the Slavic slave trade. And the very word slave, it would be said Slave. Because here, like, if you add an E to the end of a name, like if your name is John, they'll say, when they're referring to you, they'll say Johnny. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they would refer to my ancestors, the Slavic people, Slave. And eventually it became slave. So just a quick history lesson for those of you who don't know.
That's deep, yeah. There's a lot whenever you break down the spelling of words and people are associated. Hey, we're the slaves. Like they're calling each other that, they don't even know it. Like essentially what you're saying. And to actually break down the spelling and the writing and the power behind words, that's what we're talking about too. The power behind it. We're speaking stuff over our lives, and we've agreed to it, and don't even know it. Don't even know what's going on, man. What we're answering to. You know?
Yeah, I seen the other day, and this is something I want to speak on more in depth, because I seen, on Twitter, somebody said they wanted to basically get people to stop using the word slave, and instead say enslaved people. And of course, to me, I'm like, this person doesn't even know what the word slave means. Like, you're going from saying Slav to enslaved people. Me as a Slav of Slavic descent, I would then, if we're gonna do that, let's take away slave altogether. Because literally, think about that. Like, I ain't taking anything away from the struggle of black people or nothing like that. But think about that, yo. All subjugated people are referred to as Slavs, as a nation, a culture of people.
Yeah.
How are we supposed to feel about that? And obviously I understand that person does not know the things that I know, so I didn't feel any kind of way about it. Yeah. But you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you don't even know the word, and that is such a word that is so now especially used and thrown around, and slave, enslavement, slavery, slave. You're saying Slavic person. Can we get rid of that? Can we? That's why, like, I use it too, still, and a lot. But I'm trying to. My preferred would be subjugation, subjugated person, subjugated people, subject even to refer, instead of slave, a subject.
It's like the Native Americans calling them Indians because they thought they were from India. And it's still there. They still don't even recognize who these people really are. Those type of deals, man. It's deep. It's deep when it comes down to the words, man. Before we move too far, I wanted to talk about, I kind of brought it up for a second, but I wanted to talk about this progression. It's definitely taking place in the hip-hop community that we're a part of, but I think because it's a progression that many people go on just with their seeking for truth and trying to make stuff happen. So I started out doing Christian music, and then I got into more of the political and Alex Jones and 9/11 Truth and those type of deals, right? And then I did that, and then it kind of evolved. Okay, just point, and that, a lot of that deals with just pointing at the problem. Hey, we want change. We are change, right? These movements, and they are trying to do stuff to make stuff happen, but there's a lot of just protests going on. So then I think for me, it turns into like this conscious thing. Okay, so what? To be conscious, okay, this is how we can bring about change. This is what we can do. That's being conscious of the political injustice and things going on. And then it goes from, okay, the way that I change and do the work is to change myself and do the work within myself. And then spiritually, right, to do the work spiritually, and then to influence others to do the same, that we all pretty much have a spiritual awakening. And I've seen that with the progression of the music, of being political, conscious, and then more spiritual. And if I'm right, I've seen that with your music as well. And I think that's a progression, not you, Vinny, Immortal Technique, right? Yeah. Is that a progression that most of us are on? Is like these people who are just shaking their fist at the government, eventually they're going to say, like, the real change is if I can change myself and then begin to change the people around me spiritually, and then we can start seeing some real change. Can you speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, man, I think so. I think, well, for me personally, it actually started with the spiritual, because it was like, like 2010, and first sis put me on to The Secret, and that was like the first thing that like was like. But see, I've always been, even back when I was in Chicago and just out in the streets wilding, like, I would read up on Buddhism, and that type of shit always fascinated me. You know what I'm saying? I even have tatted on my forearm, a quote from Tagore, you know what I'm saying, who was like, I don't know if he was Buddhist philosopher, but I know he was a I believe, an Asian philosopher. But anyway, I know I found the quote in like some book about Buddhism, and it was like, it just was dope. So anyway, I was always into that, but life has a funny way of just taking you wherever you need to go. So, and I didn't really, I didn't need to, it wasn't my time at that time, even though I was gathering little jewels and, little seeds were being planted in my mind here and there. It wasn't until like 2010 when Sis put me onto The Secret. And then that just opened my mind up like, whoa, it just made sense. The whole law of attraction, manifesting. And, I still believe in it, but I've kind of, that I think is that whole secret thing. It was cool, but like, it's a little bit too, they make it seem a little bit like, oh yeah, just think it and everything's going to happen. Like, yeah. But anyway, then started just going down a rabbit hole with spirituality, watching different documentaries and really just getting into, the mind and the spirit. And that actually then led me to the political, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, really it was actually, my bro, this dude, his name is Lance Sullivan. He's from Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. And he was out here playing basketball professionally here in where I live. And I met dude and we just linked up, like we was just, vibing. And he put me on to, we would sit around and, watch documentaries and he put me on to this documentary about the war on drugs. And that was, because my whole experience in the past and, succumbing to that whole crap. Anyway, that, it just was like, yo, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what really then turned it into like, man, I got to get political with, I got to start spreading this. And that's when I was like, that was the main thing that was like, yo, if this is like this, the war on drugs, and they could lie to us this much and deceive us, and then I don't believe anything else. Let me go and research all of this shit and let me find out, all the truth. And then of course, like having this talent, because I wasn't even rapping back then. I had stopped for years. I wasn't rapping, and I was like, man, I got to use my talent for something positive. But ultimately, yes. And I've been for years like, yo, the revolution is within, the revolution of self. Like that is the truest, because look, you can have all the information, all the knowledge, you can remember all the facts, the statistics, the dates, all of that. But in the end of the day, if you're just lost, all that is going to do is make your life miserable. Yeah. Because especially with what we do, because it is a heavy burden. When you find out all this information and the truth of the world we live in, it is a heavy, heavy weight that we all hold on ourselves, on our chest, on our shoulders. And if you don't find some type of inner peace and some type of balance, for me personally, I need the anger, I need the dark. I need that. That fuels me. That's why I started doing what I do. Yeah. If anybody who says, "Oh no, the dark, the negative," no, you need that too. Like, look, this is the world. It's a world of duality. It's yin yang. It's relativity. It's all. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, and there is nothing. To me, there is nothing that is inherently bad. Meaning, there's nothing that we can't experience that through alchemy cannot become something amazing. Nothing. I don't care what it is. The worst, most heinous of acts, of things that could be done to you, they've been done to people. And people have managed to turn them into miracles and into the best thing that has ever happened to them. Myself included. The things something that happened to me that I thought my life is over, it's a wrap, I'm done. I want to kill myself. Like all of that. Now it was the turning point. Yeah. It was the starting point of where I'm at now, and how, because I love where I'm at now and I love who I am, how could I ever look back on that with anything but gratitude?
That's weird.
Gratitude for it happening. You understand what I'm saying? So there is no, I don't subscribe to the notion that there's inherent evil or even inherent good. I mean, look at it. We live in a world where, throughout the ages, people have done things that now we look down upon, but at the time they thought it was amazing.
Yeah,
they thought it was a great thing for all their people, all of humanity. Sacrifice a virgin. Fuck it. I mean, I don't agree with it or condone it, but it's all, and I know the whole moral relativism, it's a slippery slope. It is. Yeah. It is, sure. I do believe that we need some type of, moral foundation but in the end of the day, I think I would be naive to recognize that in the grandest picture of the universe knows not what is good or bad or negative. Look, I tell people this too. They say, well, if the law of attraction and that, if it's real, then why do bad people have good things happen to them? You know why? Because maybe those people do not feel that what they're doing is bad. Therefore, they do not emit an energy that the universe is going to return to them. They could be killing somebody and they are fucking happy and they're feeling awesome about it. Of course, that's messed up.
We had somebody on the show last night, and he said that the universe only knows one thing: yes, to whatever you're projecting, whatever you're trying to create. Yeah, it
only knows vibration. That's it. Yes to your vibration. Yep. What is the vibration that you are putting out? You know what I'm saying? Like, look, oftentimes we even trick ourselves into thinking, we may be doing something good but are you feeling good about it? And then we ask ourselves, why do I always do good stuff and it doesn't come back to me? Yeah. Are you doing it? What's your intention? What's your vibration that you're putting out while you're doing it?
Yep.
Is it genuine? Are you feeling really good about it? Or are you just doing it just to do it thinking, oh, it's going to come back to me, or you don't really want to do it, or whatever it may be? Yep. It's vibration. Look, the language of the universe is vibration. That's it. It is vibration. That's it. So, and that's science as we know it. I mean, maybe it's not, but so.
Yeah, but what is vibration?
Right. What's vibration? Exactly. What's energy? Yeah. What's energy? At the end of the day, it's got to come from something or somewhere.
Yeah. Then it gets deeper. It gets into the spirit realm. It's like, okay, if there's energy and vibration, what about beings that live and feed off of vibrations? What if they eat the entities and beings that exist that eat energy and they live off of energy? Angelic and demonic. So that gets into a whole nother.
Fam, listen, there are people, there are human beings who they don't know it. They're not conscious of it. But how? They thrive, they live off of others' energy. How?
Psychic a lot of vampires is what they call
it. But some of it's positive too. Yeah. See, again, there's no inherent good or bad.
Yeah.
People live off of our energy.
Yeah.
In a good way. The energy we put out through our music, through our activism. Mm-hmm. And they're not sustained by it in the physical way, but they live off of it. It gives them something that does sustain them mentally and emotionally and spiritually. Yeah. So, and then of course, like you said, the vampires who they thrive off of seeing you feel like shit, off of your low frequency, making you, not you in particular, but anybody, you know what I'm saying? Then you got those too. So now what you're saying on a whole deeper level, that is crazy. Like, that's just like, man, if there is that, if there are like, who knows? I mean,
I totally believe it, man.
I could have some of them attached to me right now.
Well, you do on a microscopic organism level. There are little entities, and I talked about it last night. There's some of them that look like little panda bears, these little microscopic beings that you can't see, but they're there. And your body is a whole ecosystem of even your stomach.
The tardigrades? You talking about tardigrades?
Yeah, all that.
Yeah,
those little cute guys, man. And there's other organisms or beings on you that want to kill those things, and they want to eat them for dinner. Yeah. And even in your gut is a whole
bacteria.
Yeah, all the bacteria, the gut bacteria, and that changes the way that you feel, that you
Almost
think
definitely.
as a person. Your body's a huge ecosystem of what you put in your
Yep.
body, what you allow to live on it. If you bathe, when you bathe and use soap, you're killing some of those little beings that rely on your dead skin to live, and you're killing them. And it's just this crazy cycle, man. And if we look at it, of what that exists, you can see them with a trained eye, the eye
Sure.
being a microscope. And so
Yeah.
when we're dealing with spirituality in the spirit realm and these other organisms, there's people who can tap in with a trained eye, being the third eye, and go
Yeah.
into it and feel energy on people,
Mm-hmm.
depression, almost like a spirit. Some traditions will
Yeah.
call them a spirit of depression or being, and remove that stuff. And they do, whether it's through prayer or fasting or changing the diet. Lots of things come into effect there, but
Yeah.
the outcome, it's working. Maybe it's
Mm-hmm.
mental blockages, things like that, dude. But it gets into so much stuff that's interesting and lets us know that, like you said, we think we got it figured out. We think that we just have this, and we look at like healing, like childhood wounds and stuff. So we talk about racism, like we talked about a little bit a while ago. So
Yeah.
someone could be racist because they were a white kid who got beat up every day by black guys. So
Yeah.
they have this inward racism that they hate black people. They black people want to, and they think they have a fear there.
Yeah.
And essentially, to them, it's a healthy fear because if I'm
Sure.
around a bunch of black, I gotta watch out. I might get jumped, and that's their
Right.
reality, right? So what we're dealing with trauma and dealing with that, we deal with people who go into healing circles and sessions and who are able to deal with that trauma, deal with that wound, whether it's moving in a spirit of forgiveness and dealing with it and having the right way to look at that situation and release it and forgive it, and people are finding healing from that and getting over their fear or traumas in many. And I'm just using this as an example. And as we're talking about rape culture, we're talking about people being poor and thinking that they're going to be poor the rest of their life, and they have this mental agreement that my family was poor, so I'm probably going to be poor too. But you have to
Right.
deal with it, get over it, and change the way that you think, change that belief system, man. And it does get really deep, and it works though. So I like to talk about, we're talking about spirituality that works. That's what I like. I don't like to deal with conspiracies and stuff anymore. I like to deal with what works, because this kind of
Yeah.
stuff we're putting into action, and it's helping people. It's changing the
Oh,
way that
yeah.
people live, and they go on to pursue their dreams, and you empower them like, hey man, pursue your dreams, and to let them know that the universe agrees with them and put those dreams within them. And the universe or God or whatever we want to call it wants them to be happy, and it's not a sin to be happy. It's not a sin to make money. Like, there's people who have that poverty mentality when we talk about money, and you get the messages from those people all the time. They don't want to touch money. So if somebody comes up to them with a record deal, or they want them to commission them for work, I'll do it for free, bro. No, let me pay you $200 for that. No, I'll do it for free. Because not that they don't need the money or they don't want it, but they have this notion there that if they receive the money, then they'll be just feeding into that system. My wife's
Yeah.
reading a book right now, and it's talking about the power of agreement and how to succeed and stuff. And they're talking about the whole money thing, as far as people equating money, equating being successful and working with, okay, when I was a kid, when my dad worked, he was gone for months at a time. My
Right.
dad couldn't show up to the ball games. My dad wasn't there to take me to school. He wasn't there to take me to the park because my dad was out making money to provide for the
Yeah.
family. So they equate with being successful as time away from the family and
Mm-hmm.
time closed off by yourself. So we have to get over those beliefs that aren't true, and
Yeah,
know how
those
to look at
limiting
things.
beliefs.
Exactly, man. So it is powerful, and it is
Yeah,
working.
I've had,
man.
I've myself, like, just with the music, to be able to make money from it, it's definitely something that I've had to and continue, because I
Yeah.
was, my father, he, for most of my childhood, he was a janitor, and there's, absolutely nothing wrong with that. But he was a janitor, and he was very unhappy with, you know, his job.
Yeah.
And my whole, he ultimately, you know, went on and was able to acquire some of his own properties. And, you know, it's all through the bank. It's nothing owned. The bank owns it. But you know how it is. You get the mortgage. You collect the rents. You pay off the bank. You got something for yourself. So he did all right. But my whole thing was always, even unconsciously in my mind, I realized, you know, later in life, really once I started getting involved with this and making money from it, that, you know, I had that limiting belief that, nah, you can't make money doing what you love and being happy.
Yeah.
Making money means you got to work hard for somebody else and be miserable and be unhappy and come home like my father used to come home tired, but just grumpy, angry, mad, because, you know, he had dreams. He wanted to be a soccer player. He didn't want to, you know, like in the beginning, have to clean people's toilets and take out, you know, rich white people's, not that it matters what race they are, but that's what it was.
Yeah.
They try, and the only reason it matters is because those were the people that I know degraded him.
Yeah.
He was an immigrant.
Man.
He could barely speak English.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, his bosses treated him poorly, you know, so he would come home angry and upset, and he took it out on his family. Even if he wasn't trying to, we all were affected by it. Yeah. I remember as a kid, my you know, once I got old enough to really, you know, when I was maybe 10 and a teenager in those years, worst part of my day was when my father would come home from work.
Yeah.
And that's a horrible, horrible thing for a child to experience.
No doubt.
That was the worst part of my day, fam, on everything. And that was so ingrained in me that, okay, yeah, he ultimately went on and he made a decent living for himself, acquired some of his own properties and bought a house, and this, great. But at what cost? To me, it was you had to just work, be miserable, you know, and that was definitely a limiting belief. And it still creeps in. I still have to deal with, you know, I still have to work at reprogramming my mind to say, you know what, it doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah.
And I know it doesn't because I'm doing it now. I might not be making thousands upon thousands, but I am in fact earning money from doing what I love to do and from being happy about it, you know? So it's so many limiting beliefs, man. I just posted today on Instagram about dealing with our childhood issues and being truthful about them. And everything, man, everything comes from the childhood. Everything comes from childhood. Yeah. Like, and that's the thing. Most of us, I don't care what you do for a living, how much money you got, what your social status is. You are not grown. You are not an adult, which most people aren't, if you have not dealt with those issues. Like, that is the only way to grow, to be an adult, you know. And of course, society, oh, you're 18, you're on your own, you're making a living, you're an adult. What? No, not even close. Like, and that is the root cause of so much dysfunction in this world, particularly on, you know, obviously the world is just a collective of smaller units, right? Of individuals, of family units. So, I mean, when you look at, if we're going to be real, I don't know any personally, except for like some of my homies now who have started their own families, like, you know, big up a Spirit and a couple other my homies, but I don't know any functional, healthy family units. You know what I'm saying? Where there's not some type of, you know, crazy residual issue, and people are walking around like harboring these, you know, these wounds, these issues from their childhood, bro. Like the biggest thing, in terms of spirituality and everything, the biggest thing that anyone can do, and I think that I did, was start to confront those deeper, because everything, like, you know, I was in a relationship and it was tumultuous, and yeah, the young lady that I was with, she did act in very, unfavorable ways, and, treated me poorly, and I would get upset with her, and all I could think of was, it's her, she's making me mad. I'm mad because of her.
Yeah.
Till I started to realize, no, yes, sure, she's doing things that are poking at the issues I already have.
Yeah.
And once I started to really analyze myself and why do these things that she does make me feel that way? And I started to trace it all back to my childhood and the experiences that I had. And I realized it's not her that I'm so much mad at it as it is my parents even, like then it would be this anger I felt towards my parents for like behaving a certain way that caused me to now have these issues as an adult that I have to deal with, and
flaws and things. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And it's hard, man. Listen, it is hard. And that's why most people don't do it, because it is hard. It opens up all types of shit. It's a everyday job. It is a full-time job. I'm always being conscious of why I'm thinking a certain way, why I'm feeling a certain way. And, sometimes I revert back. Sometimes I'm not perfect. I tell people like, look, fam, I'm peaceful. But I'm not perfect. I can't tell you right now that I'll never, ever even punch somebody in the fucking face. I don't know. Because I'm not in every single situation. I have not been in every single possible situation that could happen. Matter of fact, I can't even fathom every single situation that I could possibly find myself in. So how could you would have to be absolutely naive to say, I will never, ever do anything.
Look, man.
You never know what situation you could find yourself in, and I'm not perfect. So I still, to this day, I can lose my temper. Man. I haven't been violent in a long, long time, but I've lost my temper.
Oh yeah.
I've yelled. On everything. One time I realized why gorillas pounce on their chest, because I did that shit. And it was, on everything. And it was completely natural. Yeah. I didn't think about it. I was just so angry in this moment, and I didn't want to hit anyone. I didn't want to hit a wall. So I just started pounding on my fucking chest, bro.
Yeah.
On everything. I don't know, maybe it's because since going vegan, it just brought out the gorilla in me. Nah, but on everything.
Bananas.
And I realized, and then it was like, whoa, that's probably why they do that, because you have this buildup of energy.
Little kids do it. My daughter, when she was a kid, she'd scratch herself. She'd get mad at us, and little baby.
Yeah, bro.
Like, what are you doing? Why are you hurting yourself because you're mad at me? Like, what's the deal?
Yeah, and the especially with the chest, because like you don't really hurt yourself pounding on your chest. Well, I mean, I got a pretty big chest, but you know what I'm like. You don't. But it's crazy though, because that's just on a side tangent. Like, people feel like if you act like aggressively in a physical form, that you're crazy. But no, it is in us. It is in us. It is a release of energy. Of course, if you release it on someone's face, that is a different story. But to have this built up feeling of anger, of whatever it is, and to want to release it physically, a lot of therapists tell you, go and beat a pillow up.
Yeah, yeah.
That is perfectly normal. I mean, one of the most damaging things, and I feel like this whole new age kind of pseudo, I think it perpetuates
not to deal with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it don't exist.
Yeah, like you should have no negative emotions.
Yeah.
You should always just be positive. Oh, if you feel just block. No. Like the most spiritual fucking thing that anybody could do. All of y'all listeners out there, listen to me. I don't know anything. But I know something, but I don't know. But just listen to this. The most spiritual thing you could fucking do is be a human being. That's it. I believe everybody, I think there's this notion of, oh, spirituality, I need to transcend humanity.
Yeah.
I need to become this enlightened individual who's going to meditate 20 fucking days in a row and not eat for 40. And then, you know what I'm saying? And have people, and heal people. No, that's for some people. That's their journey.
There's a time and place for that. Yeah.
There is for some people, but let's be real. Most of us will never achieve that level, nor are we meant to.
Yeah.
For most of us, the most spiritual thing is simply having the human experience. And that means all of it. The things we perceive as good, as bad, as negative, the feelings, the emotions, they are all part of us. And why, and what our spirit, our energy, it is why it chose to be in this vessel, if you believe that or not. That is why we are in this vessel, not to get out of it. Because that's what the spiritual, leave it.
Escapism.
No, be in it, experience it, feel all of it.
Yeah.
But learn how to cope with those feelings. Learn how to deal with them.
Yeah.
Learn how to transform the ones you think are negative into the positive. Learn how to utilize the positive to help others.
Yeah.
These things, not just, oh, I'm just going to be positive all day. Like, yo, if you could do that, you must be living in some other world or be delusional, because I don't know how you could do that in this world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but I wouldn't want to.
There should be things that you see that enrage you. You should be pissed off if you study PETA or what's going on with animals and whatever you like. There should be things that piss you off, man, of how black people are treated in America or. For me, and everybody's different. Everybody has their passion. For me, it was the whole job thing. You know what I'm saying? And it pissed me off because I'm working a job building somebody else's kingdom and what they envisioned and built and breathed and created. I'm working trapped building their system and empire. I want to pursue my dreams. There's things here that I want to do full time and that I'm good at doing. They may not make a lot of money, but I enjoy doing these, and I would give whatever I need to give to be able to make that happen. That's where I am now. And so it moves me with empathy and compassion to see people who are working these jobs that they don't want to be. Like I see, and it blows my mind, man. Driving down the freeway and seeing all these cars, people headed to jobs that they're at by default. Not that somebody enjoys the career, they love where they are, but people who are, I feel like they're like me and they're uncomfortable. And we got a guy right now, I'm about to bring a caller in, he's talking about working at McDonald's. I know he doesn't see himself in 20 years or 5 years or 1 year working at McDonald's. Like, we have dreams and visions, and most of us give up on those dreams. And we're like, yeah, that's a dream. It's only for those who are asleep, right? But to really understand that we can obtain those dreams and we can make them happen with having goals and things that work. And there's so many people there. And so that's what I hate to see other people, like whether it's at Walmart and seeing people greeting at Walmart or seeing people taking groceries. And I'm like, now if they like it and they're cool with it, cool.
Yeah, sure.
I have to get over that. I don't think that nobody could be. But there's some people who really enjoy working at McDonald's and they get it's thrilling. They love it. But those,
hey, there's I've been to some nice McDonald's back in the States. Like, you driving through the countryside of like Wisconsin.
Yeah.
They got that seems like a decent gig at those kind of McDonald's.
Yeah.
But
No, some of them they're paid good, man. And but as long as they're making a living, but it moves me for that person who has that dream and they've given up on it, but it's still, there's a spark there and we can recapture the dream and we can make it happen. I believe that everybody should be happy, man. I believe that everybody should pursue what's inside of them. You want to work with animals, and you have an overwhelming sensation within you. This was my wife, to work with animals. How do I do that? And the universe and being patient and learning from mistakes and stepping out in faith. She's working with animals now. She's working with horses and disabled children every day. She's working her dream job and getting paid to do it. And she loves it. So that's what moves me, man. But you were
yeah,
talking,
man, and I wanna just quick add to that. Like we talking about the work and the, making your dreams, and it all starts with the mind state, with the intention, with believing, but it's work too, man. And that's the thing.
hard work
A lot of
pays off.
people, let's keep it a hundo, man. A lot of people don't really want to put in the work. Like I noticed with this rap shit, I see a lot of cats who want to do it, maybe ask me for advice, and then I could tell there's cats who think it's a overnight type of thing, who think it's like, they might see me, I got, I'm not even that big, but I got whatever, however many views, however many followers, whatever and it was I guess it was relatively short period of time that I've been out there, but people don't understand. Like, look, even the money that I get now from music, how long I've been working for that money? since I was 10 years old, bro.
Yeah.
Since the first time I got in my mind, I want to be a rapper.
Yeah.
And started coming up with ideas for rap songs in my mind.
Working.
And when I was 13 and started rapping, and when I was a teenager and battled in countless ciphers, freestyles, when I was obsessed with being the dopest MC and all my mind thought about was rapping. I wrote lyrics all day. If I wasn't writing lyrics, I'm freestyling. I used to sleep with the pen and the notepad next to my bed because I would wake up in the middle of the night and write rhymes. I was consumed by it.
Yeah.
So, people they just see the songs and they think, nah. And I literally, blood, sweat, and tears, bro. Been in battles, got in fights over this rap shit. Fights, crews, battling, fighting, brawling, all of that. You know what I'm saying? That's the work that is needed to put in.
Yep.
And maybe not, I understand, not everyone needs to take the same route as I did or even do as much as I did, because especially with rap nowadays, it's like, you can actually, and that's a big part of it. Like, you can put out one song in the mainstream and and blow up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally cats who probably never rapped in a cipher.
Yep. In their life.
Ever.
Yeah. With hit singles, they've never rapped in their life. They stepped in the booth. Somebody told them what they do. They tried it, and they're millionaires. Trinidad James? He's one of them. Listen to his interviews. He wasn't a rapper. He just stepped out there and did it and repeated these cadences, and millionaire.
And listen, I wouldn't be mad at if it wasn't like that trash content. I wouldn't be mad at it. Of course,
no doubt.
That makes it to me, even worse. But I won't lie. Of course, part of me is when I see that it's salty, because like in the end of the day, I'm not a jealous person, and I'm not gonna focus on that. But when I talk about it, or if I think about it for whatever reason, of course, bro. Like, I'm. It's not even about I'm an old school head or nothing like that. Like, but there aren't I don't even think there's very many cats rapping from my generation that put in as much work as I did on the street. Yeah. Because that's what I'm talking about. The battling, the freestyling, the ciphers, even organized battles, all of that, bro. And then, of course, like I started recording professionally, put out a professional EP when I was 17 years old. You know what I'm saying? I'm 36 now. You know what I'm talking about? So was rocking shows, did a tour of the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? Opened up for Grammy Award winning group, The Roots, when I was 18 years old. You know what I'm talking about? When I was 21, was By the Source. For those, the new school heads, they don't even probably know what The Source is, but The Source was the Bible of hip hop back in the day. Yeah. Unsigned Hype discovered Biggie, Mobb Deep, Eminem. They had a nationwide, across America, a nationwide talent search contest. Thousands of people entered. I placed top 5 in all of America. By the Source, unsigned Hype. Started garnering record label attention. All of that, was on the verge of signing a deal. But anyway, that's a whole nother story, because shit took a turn for the worse. And it for the better. Back then it was for the worse. Yeah. For the better. Yeah. So, because right now I'd probably be one of those cats on TV that right now I'd probably be talking shit about myself. Like, look at this dude talking that nonsense. So, but anyway, my point is like, when I look at like, man, I put in so much work that nobody even knows about for the most part. And then of course, of course I'm going to feel a little bit of like when I see somebody who's like, damn, this cat ain't even, you know what I'm saying, ever even actually really rapped aside from in his home studio or, like I used to get pissed, honestly, like when I first started and cats would be like, oh, this guy's just a YouTube rapper. Like, yo, call me anything, but do not call me a YouTube rapper. Yo. I mean, even now, I don't even know if people even say that anymore. But, back like when I first started, that was a big thing.
Now you have to be a YouTube rapper. I think
that's right. Isn't that crazy?
Who was it? I think it was Waka Flocka that said, you could be popping in the street, but if you ain't popping on the internet, you're not popping at all.
Right, you're not popping at all.
Yeah, that's the information highway. That's where we are now, and it definitely we use it to our advantage, man. And we're able to connect with the nations through it, man. To kind of piggyback just off a little bit about what you're talking about growing, and it's about growing and about the words that we speak and putting in the hard work about whatever dream you have to put in. You don't just think about it and then you manifest it. You think about it, but you have to be obsessed with it. Okay. And the whole thing with shamanism and stuff with me is like the spirituality is like to go into those thought patterns and those realms to say, oh, how can I go in there and pull that stuff out and bring it into my reality, and to help other people do that too. Like those dreams, like how can we manifest this dream? I see this vision. This is what I want to do. How do I make it happen? To go into those realms, spiritually, meditation, think about it, contemplate it, and be consistent. Like that's what it is. Even with podcasting, I love podcasting. People don't know I live this stuff. I listen to podcasts about podcasting, what to do in a podcast, how to interview people, like what not to do, what to talk about. And it's a learning process. And so to be to be consistent with it, man, it's a lot that people don't even know that. And people will try to tell me how to do my job and, oh, you should do this better. I don't like that. You should do that. I say, hey man, like this is strategic. Like what I'm doing is strategic. It's not like I don't have guests on here and debate my guests and argue with them and stuff because they come with another understanding or another philosophy or whatever the case is. Like it's strategic, man. And I find much peace and unity and working together. But to hit on, you're talking about the words, man, and never say never, because I want to kind of go back to that. You're talking about that. I'll never do this, man. I'm a human, right? I am spiritual. I'm very spiritual. My life consists of spirituality and helping people and studying scriptures and how to apply it and spending time with God and being conscious of my words and conscious of my thoughts and things like that. And I'm very spiritual. But I went to a party one night a couple years ago. I got in a fist fight at a party. I would have never. I never. You give it to him at least? Did you serve him up? Yeah. Truth? I did. Hey, I did. But our buddy, The Voice, he took it to another level, and we could have gotten. Our lives could have changed.
Yeah,
way. It was bad. Yeah. It really was bad, right? Yeah. But going out, I never thought that would happen. That wasn't my intention. We went to watch a UFC fight. And alcohol.
Oh, y'all got hyped up on that.
No, I'm defending myself essentially, but drugs and alcohol, man, were part of it, and people getting in your face and talking BS, and you just have to defend your space. You know what I'm saying? And then even on that, I would have never thought that happened. Freaked me out, and people, even my friends, they were freaked out to see me go into that, to turn into that gorilla. And so. But even like coming up, like dealing with the churches and stuff, man, there's a lot of pastors and people who are coming off of dope and coming off of drugs and coming off of meth and stuff like that. And they would say it, I'm never going to do meth again. God saved me. He changed my life. I'm never going back to it. And they mean it. It comes from an innocent place. But I find out you can't test God. You can't never say never, man, because there's people, bro, I'm telling you, man, even in the religious system is where I come from, but I've seen those people who have beautiful marriages and they're doing good, and then they let a little slack up. They quit taking those thoughts captive. Like I said, you know,
Right.
they start wandering, they start looking at other women, and a beautiful functioning family is now destroyed because they wanted to go outside of the marriage bed, or
Yeah.
that youth pastor who was helping coaching people on how to get off of dope and stay off of it. They let their guard down and had a bad day, and maybe tried it one time because it was something familiar. It was a place of comfort that they remember, and they tried dope again, and it comes back like a freaking flood, dude. And they're junkies now. People who were successful, had families and great jobs, are now junkies and addicted to pills, man. So I never say never. And like you said, learn from the mistakes of others. Like, learn from our own mistakes 100%. But if you can learn by watching other people and say, okay, this dude is doing this and it's not working, I'm not going to do that. But if I can look at Disl and say, okay, this is working for Disl. He puts out a video, all the songs that take off for Disl, he has a music video for them. Let me do that. Let me make sure that we're putting out visuals with our videos if we want them to really have a life and birth something and bring about ideas. Let's just shoot videos and just find out what works, whether it's for you or other independent artists or other people in spirituality or other people who have families. Okay, this dude. Okay, I have a successful marriage. I've been married to my I started dating my wife when I was 14. I'm 33.
Wow.
We got married. I got married when I was 17. I have a beautiful marriage. God has blessed it. So there's things that work. If you want to learn what to do and how to have a successful marriage, watch us. Check us out.
Yeah.
I'm glad to give advice, but you can't go out. You can't go out to the bars. You can't go out drinking without your spouse and leave them at home and do things. Like, there's just things you can't do. You can't be in a room with a woman by yourself and just or let girls come over and hang out during the day. There's things you can't do. I have friends who do those things in their marriage and they're wondering why it doesn't work out. You gotta have boundaries and stuff, man. So we have to learn from the mistakes and learn by watching other people. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and bring in this guest, man. He wants to talk to you. Hanging on the phone for a good bit. So we got a caller from California. Who we speaking with?
Disl!
Yo, what's up, fam? Who that?
What's good, brother?
Over here chilling, man. You?
Damn, it's good to see you. Real.
Yo, what's your name, fam? Do I know you from some social media or something?
Yeah, T and Dot.
Oh shit! What's up, fam? What's good, brother?
Damn, man. Hey, TruthSeekah, man. Man, don't be putting your head down, man. I'm glad to see you post.
You kind of muffled. You on speakerphone? See if you can hold the phone a little bit closer. You kind of muffled a little.
Yeah, I'm on speakerphone.
Okay, yeah, just hold the phone a little bit closer. What'd you say?
No, yeah, I'm on speakerphone or whatever. Well, like, I have my iPhone right here and shit. It's all fucked up, but it's all good.
It sounds better now. So what's good? What's good, fam?
Hey, I have some questions, man. Y'all really inspired me and shit.
Oh, that's what's up, bro.
Fire away, man. You got the floor.
Hey, man. Hey, that marriage thing though. That's just a hard talk right there, homie.
It could be done, man.
I know you was hollering at me the other day about a few things, bro.
Yo.
Yo, you there? You there, fam?
Oh yeah, I'm there. I was talking to someone real quick.
Yeah, man. You got any questions for Disl?
Hey, so I just got done at the bathroom, doing my thing.
That's what's up.
But anyway, so how do you guys cope with that? Like in the marriage where like you're talking about looking at other women.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all truth right there.
Right. But
You know your boy's single and ready to mingle. I'll let Truth handle that.
Hey,
Yeah, for sure, man. So are you?
I'm not when I'm with my girl, so it's like I can't like be like loyal.
Okay, well, I'll say this, man. Dude, you wouldn't believe how many messages I get from people wanting to know how to make it work and how can they deal with lust and looking at women and wandering eyes and stuff. This is what I say. This is what works for me. I believe that the first look is okay. I believe that if you look at a woman, you in your mind wanders and it's like, oh man, she's hot, she's got a fat booty, whatever the case is, this how God's mind works.
For real.
And so I think the first thought is okay, man, but I think that the sin comes in and we need to catch it with that second thought. We can't go back to that. We can't revisit it. So you have to catch yourself when those thoughts come in. You have to catch it, man.
Right.
You can't entertain it. You can't start thinking about it. Man, I wonder what she's like in bed. I'm just keeping it real. This is how it goes on in guys' heads, right? Start undressing her with your mind and stuff. So what I do, I try to catch that first thought. And what helps me, if I look at a girl and it comes into my mind like, man, she's bad, I catch myself and say, you know what? My wife's bad too. I got a bad wife. I got a loyal wife. I got a faithful wife. And I'll just start reminding myself like what I have with my wife, and I wouldn't want to ruin what we've built because I can easily, you can never say never, like we said a while ago. I don't want to ruin what we've built since I was 14 years old over a one-night stand or whatever. A one-night stand would be fun. You'd have fun for that night or whatever, but it would get old and it's not worth it, man. My wife is awesome. She's the person that God put here for me. We're meant to be together, and I know that. So that goes a long way, man. And these are just some little tricks and tips, man, that work for me in my mind and my psyche to try to stay on that track. And I'll say this, man. I like to give this. I like to give this analogy to. It's from the Bible. So Paul talks about spiritual warfare, man. We got thoughts, we got things that come at us from all types of angles. Like you said, those impulses, we are human, but we got to deal with them. Just because we want to swing on somebody, just because we want to fight somebody, don't mean we're supposed to feed into it. We get those thoughts, we deal with them. We say, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be the bigger man. I'm gonna deal with it, wrestle with it, whatever. So there's a spiritual warfare that takes place in the hearts and minds of men. So and it's promoted even in the Bible. But when Paul talks about walking in purity and lust and sexual immorality, he says to flee youthful lust. Don't fight it, don't entertain it, but youthful lust, when it just comes in like that, like I said, that first thought, he says to flee from it. Run from it. Don't even entertain it. Don't give it that second thought. Don't premeditate something, man, because it'll grow like a wildfire in your heart, and many people cannot contain it.
Because what you call it? Like, I hooked up with this girl, and it was just like one night stand. That's it. Like, it was a one thing. I worked with her at McDonald's too. Like, that's crazy. Like, and she left. The good thing, you know what I'm saying? Because if she was at McDonald's, we would have had like a breakdown at McDonald's.
Yeah, I mean, but so you always gotta walk in that empathy too, man. Like, how would you feel if your girl was out checking out guys? If she's walking through town or at Walmart and she looks at a guy and she's sizing him up, oh, I wonder what he's like in bed. So you have to bring that same integrity into the marriage, man. Say, you know what? I don't want my wife out here looking at other dudes and daydreaming and shit, so I'm not going to do it. I'm telling you, man, it goes a long way.
I'm not like when I hooked up with one of these girls, like, I was in lust. Like, I was like, damn, I was like sprung. Like, I was like, damn, like,
hey, your mind will play with you, man, that, you when you're thinking with that other head,
hey,
man.
Real.
But
it comes from experience. That's just experience.
It's dangerous. Yeah, so there you go. There's the experience. Now it happened. Mistakes do happen. Learn from the mistakes. Learn not to talk and getting close to other women. You can't do that. You can't be getting close to other women and your wife,
Or fam, you could just be like me, bro, and then you ain't got to worry about none of that. You enjoy all the women.
That's what's up, Diesel.
Hey, you already know, fam. Yeah, I love the women.
Hey, everybody's walk's a little bit different, man. Everybody's in a particular situation, but definitely show the respect and integrity in whatever situation you're in, and treat others the way you want to be treated. And that's just it works, man. If you want to make it work, there's people who envy, man, what me and my wife have, and they would kill for what we have, and they would want to take. There's guys who want my wife, and there's women who want me. So we have to be on the offense as well as the defense, to understand that girls look to me as a spiritual leader, that girls look to me as a cool rapper, as this cool person. But and even you can entertain that and let that take you places. But
like, once you got like something started popping, like, you know, they wasn't messing with you before, and all of a sudden when you're a rapper, you know, it's crazy.
Back then they didn't want me. Now they all on me.
That's true, man.
Hey, but look, I'll tell you too. Just something that I feel is really important. When I ain't know, I'm not like in truth in the long term. But I of course I have experience with relationships, and in the end of the day, I think it's all. And I learned, like we spoke about, I learned from other people's experiences, my own. And a lot of it to me is common sense and logic. But I feel that at the root of any good, healthy, functional relationship, and Tia Thoughts, I say this all the time online, and communication, yo. Because in the end of the day, you could have people who, hey, y'all may have an unconventional relationship. It may be people even have open relationships that work, but you know why? Because they communicate what they want. They're straightforward. They're honest, and they stick to it. That's because a lot of people will say, no, I'm cool with that. I'm cool. It's all good. But then later the jealousy seeps in, these certain things. You know what I'm saying? So as long as y'all are communicating, saying, hey, look, this is what I want. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm about. This is who I am. Be real, be honest, be genuine. Let the other person know. I think a huge thing now is, well, not now, always has been, is these games that people want to play. They don't want to be the first. They don't want to let the other person think that they're weak and vulnerable, that they're really feeling them, this and that, yada, yada. And it becomes this whole big game. And like, me personally, I'll never partake in that game. I say, look, I say this: I'm not out of anyone's league, but I ain't playing those games. You feel what I'm saying? I may not be out of your league in the sense of how they say, oh, I'm out of your league. Nah, I'm not out of your league. I'm just not playing the game at all. You feel me? Because that's the main thing. I'm just a straightforward dude. So, and to me, that's always the best, because in the end of the day, I've met women and been with women where I've let them know, like, look, this is what I'm about. I ain't trying to have nothing serious or whatever. And they may catch feelings. And you know what? I feel for them. But in the end of the day, I didn't play no games. There were no false pretenses. I told you where I stand, so you cannot get mad at me for not wanting the same thing as you. You understand what I'm saying? You can't do that. I mean, you can. You could be mad. You could be in your feelings, but you can't hold it against me. You know what I'm saying? And that's just being honest and being real. And that's, that's to me in any relationship.
Be open.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm with this chick right now. And like I think I asked you a question, like, how you know if like she's the one, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like I spend there and shit. And like, but I still want to like talk to other women, but I talk to them, but I don't do anything with them. So, but I'm still like, at the end of the day, like, I'm always with this chick, like, that's what it is. So I don't know.
Everybody's situation is different. My answer would be find that person that you can't live without. Like because that's my reality. That's what works for me, to find that person you can't live without. I know guys who, they kind of grew into that. They just found this girl they were digging, and they got married, and then it just works. You know what I'm saying? But I'd say find that person you can't live without, and then go to war for that person. My you know what I'm saying? My girl, that's my other half. That's a part that chick, she's a part of me. I'm a part of her. You know what I'm saying? We finish each other's sentences. Like we're meant to be together. We're ordained, and so I go to war for that one. Like I never let anybody mess with my family, my wife or my daughter. Like I'll go to hell over that. You know what I'm saying? So find that person.
Just to go, you say the person you can't live without. And it goes back to what I said to you, TM Thoughts. To know you can't live without somebody, what's the logical thing that you must first do? Live with them. How do you know you can't? Yeah. That to me is the biggest thing. If you're not really with a person day in and day out, how can you like, yo, I've lived with people. You do not know somebody until you live with them.
Hey, it's different when you do
day in, day out. You know that. You do not know that person. It's a whole different story. I don't care how much time y'all spend together during the day. In the end of the day, you know and she know that y'all going home, have your own space, your own privacy. You could do whatever you want. It's a completely different dynamic. I know I know people. I had a homie was with a young lady 7 years, got married, divorced after 1. The only difference is they lived together. They got married. The only difference.
Yeah, I know. Man, I know people.
A lot of people. That's actually why most divorce happens in the first year, because that's the main contributing factor. They wasn't really living together before then.
I can give you that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. You got to find out who that person is, man, before you step into that.
Yeah, I pushed this woman away for like a week or two, like just to see, like, if I had like, real feelings for this girl, right?
Mm-hmm. So
I pushed her away, and she thought I was playing around, seeing other women, shit like that. Nah, it's like nothing like that. I'm not playing games, nothing. I just want to see, So I'm not gonna lie, I wanted her back, dude, by a week. Like I was like, fuck that, like, like I don't know what it is, like maybe like I don't know, we just have a good connection.
Sounds like it works, man. You got your winner, man. People envy that, dude. I know people who have dysfunctional marriages. You know what I'm saying? And they fight, they yell. Exactly. They yell at each other. They degrade each other. They dog each other out. I mean, that's everything we've been talking about, just learning how to cope and how to do life and do it in a way that it's fun and it benefits everybody, man. And that's the way I want to live, man. I've seen people do it. And but we the one I'm with, like I said, we've been here. She's been with me through thick and thin. She was with me when I was at my lowest, you know what I'm saying? And she didn't go anywhere. She's been my support, my backbone.
Yeah, that's what I like about this one, because she be coming when I'm down and shit. She be like, "Oh, I'm coming over." Like, when I'm sad and shit, like I'm like, damn, like she's really down.
Yep. And if you could tell she's into you and she's loyal, keep her. Because that seems like was like the hardest thing to find, people that they want to go outside the relationship and stuff like that. But if you can find somebody who's content with you and appreciates you, man, then you can only do the same thing for them, man, and make it work, dude.
And stop if it's like that, then stop messing around, bro. What you messing around?
Exactly. Yeah, if it's that good, because people will kill for what you got, man. There's people who want that. I'm telling you.
Hey. The problem is, like, I'm still talking, like, to other women, like, on the low, like, but I ain't doing nothing with them.
It don't matter.
Like, I don't know what it is.
That ain't a problem. A problem would be if she was doing that. You can't call something that you yourself are doing a problem.
That's how you got to have that empathy. You got to put yourself in her shoes.
Right. You can easily eliminate that. Just stop doing it, fam, if you're really feeling about this young lady that way. You know what I'm saying? Basically, it sounds like you can't really choose. Do you want that? Do you want to be about that relationship life or about that player life? So I think you need to make that decision on your own, brother.
Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, being a player, like, it's fun. Like, you get to experience a lot of women. Get to, like, it's
you talking to D. Look at
Hey, man.
He knows what you're talking about.
No player. Players play games.
You just out there in the field.
Jokes aside, it's not about being a player. Don't be a player. But if you want to be, single and just doing
it just like entertains me. Even when you're single, me a lot. Like,
I'm sorry, fam. Go ahead.
But you got
it entertains me a lot.
You might have to find other things that entertain you. You know what used to entertain me? Robbing people, breaking into houses. That's what we did for fun. We robbed people and broke in their houses when they left to go to work. That was fun to me. It's still fun. We can still get a kick out of it, but that is not healthy. It's not going to help me. It's going to hurt me. So you got to learn from. You got to find other things that entertain you, like podcasts. Podcasts entertain too, and I can make something happen. I can't make that happen robbing people out here, man. You know?
Yeah, this is a good one. I was not coming into this expecting we'd be talking about relationships. I feel like we love, like it's you know what I'm saying? What was that one?
Love Line.
Yeah, there was that, or that newspaper that like asked.
Oh,
asked,
yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, fam, no matter what you do, man, you gotta make that choice, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, how old are you, fam?
I just turned 20, like in August.
Oh, you tripping? You young, bro. To me, it's the way I see it. I'll be real with you, bro. I could be wrong, but if you gotta kind of think about it, if you still persuaded towards other women, then I don't know. I don't know if you're ready for the relationship.
You gotta be head over heels, man. You gotta know.
You gotta be ready. You gotta be ready to commit.
I still need to like experience a lot of like other things, like, but it's hard, like, because I'm trying to go to school and I'm working at McDonald's and trying to make me work at nights and shit, plugging on my sleep, all that bull crap, and it's like
this is excuses.
I'm over here man, it's really, but I'm just getting there because, like, it's the money, and in my situation, I live alone and shit. And when you live alone, like, it's different. It's like different when you live alone. Like before, like I was living with, like, of course my family and shit. But then, like you said, these are like, oh, when you're 18, you get kicked out, blah, 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 all that bullshit. Like, that's what happened to me. So it's like, they're not helping me. I'm helping my own. So I'm over here, like, trying to do whatever I can. The roof on top of my head, working at night.
Yeah. I've been on my own since I was like 16.
But, so go back to, like, I don't know, like, I don't know what my, like, I'm trying to find, like, what my dream is and trying to, see what I can do in the future. But, I don't know. For right now, like, I'm working, trying to go back to school and shit. But I know, like going to school, like, that's going to take time. Like, it's going to take away money, like, from my, like, I don't know. It's pretty hard right now.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, but one thing about being hard, man, hard work pays off, man. Being consistent, doing what you're supposed to be doing. Because when it's over, hey, time flies, brother. Time flies. So it'll be over before you know it. And then if you finish schooling, you're going to have something to show for it. So stick with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are very young, bro. Like, I'm not one of those. No, it's real though. And the only reason I say that is because, I know
I'm a different cat.
Well, I know you. That's the thing.
Really for other people too.
No, that's what I'm saying, and that's why you're young and you got a good head on your shoulders, fam, and you got a good positive outlook. So I know that if you just keep pushing forward, you know what I'm saying, and taking the actions and having that positive mind state, you're gonna make things happen. The things are gonna open up for you. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, believe me, bro, when I was 20, I wasn't thinking about none of this type of shit, bro. I was just trying to, I was out trying to, get money and hook up. I won't say what I was thinking. Get money and be with a lot of women. That was all it was really about. So I mean, like,
and that was all as me right now. But it's just like, I really love this girl, but I don't even know.
Nah, I feel you, bro. But look, man, just like I said, try to really make a decision and stick to it. That's whatever it is. If you're gonna be with her, do it and stick to it. If not, do it and stick to it, and just do it, bro. Don't overthink it.
Bro, like you live alone and shit, and then, like, you have been having, like, girls, like, one night stands, blah blah. Like, I don't know, it gets old sometimes, and, like, sometimes, like, you want to keep, like, one girl, like, in your bed, like, come home and then see her in there, you know what I'm saying? But it's like I don't know, like, probably like I'm getting lonely. Like I'm experiencing like like depression. Like who knows what it is? Like
Yeah, see, and those aren't really good reasons to go into relationships. They're actually not good. They're actually, I'd say, signs that you shouldn't go into a relationship. You don't want to be going into a relationship hoping that it's gonna save you from something. And so I mean, my belief is that it's hard enough for one person on their own, fam, to really figure things out and to be happy and to be functional in life. So if you don't
right now,
feel like
I'm not happy with McDonald's, like it gets old.
What's that?
Oh, like it gets old, like working at at one job and then like you're already used to it, and all of a sudden you get tired of it. So I'm tired of his job. Like honestly, like I'm trying to get another job too, like working in the day, and it's pretty hard for right now actually.
I believe you, bro.
Because like you're trying to get hours, like you're trying to be full time, trying to do trying to keep your house up and keep trying to feed food in your mouth. That's the thing right there.
Yeah, bro, that's a struggle, man. Like I said earlier, if you were listening, that's something I can't really relate to, so I can empathize. Yeah. I could completely. That's why I say, just like we were just talking about, Truth, right now I can't tell this man. I could tell you, you're young, you got your whole life ahead of you. You got a good head on your shoulders. I know, from what I've seen of you, and I know it's tough, and I really don't have it, but I don't know, because I don't know what can I tell you? Like, well, go try and get a job here. I can't tell you none of that. I don't know anything else to tell you besides, keep your head up, keep pushing forward and being positive, because I know you are a positive guy. I could tell that just off of Instagram. I know, what I'm saying? I know you're not out here being dumb. I mean, I don't know, maybe we all could be dumb at times, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not out here being ignorant. You're a smart dude, you're intelligent, and I guess I just feel like, man, when you're that age, I know like things at any age though, it just, I guess my brain is still in that program state of mind, like, 20, but any age, like, bro, any day one day can change your whole life. Anything could happen in front of you, and you got your whole life ahead of you, bro. So many opportunities could present themselves. You know what I'm saying?
So the thing is right now, like I'm over here, like, I haven't been to school for like 1 year, and I'm over here like working at McDonald's. I'm already like getting used to it, and like I feel like I'm stuck in this like room where like I don't know what to do with my life. I'm over here just working. Like I want to to do something with my life, like see what opportunities like they're out for me, But it's just like I feel like I have to get through this, like this little, I don't even know what it is, honestly, but
yeah. What did you want to be when you was a kid, man? What did you want to be when you was a kid?
Like I don't know. I just want to be like passionate for something. Like I just wanted to like like heal heal people's minds. Like like you're like everybody a healer. Like you guys are a healer, but you can't heal everyone. You can't heal like everyone else. No,
you can be paid. You can get paid to do personal sessions and lead people through therapy. What we were talking about earlier, childhood trauma and people having things on them and things they can't get over. I do private sessions with people, and people pay me. I have friends who make a killing doing private sessions, healing people, man. Spending time going through their crap with them. A lot of times, like Disl said, we have to deal with that stuff, but we don't know how to approach it. We don't know what to do once we deal with it. Then what? Okay, we know that we've been treated this way or that way, and we feel a certain type of way.
Like I have like I talk to these people and like I give them advice, but I'm over here like giving them advice, but then like I was like, what about me? Like so it's like sometimes like people could be a hypocrite like at times or whatever, but like I'm trying to like stay off of that. Like, you know, I'm trying to follow my own advice.
Well, like we said, man,
like
there was a lot of wisdom in this episode, man. And a lot of it, I think, what we keep repeating is learn from your mistakes and learn from the mistakes of others. Learn what's working for others and what's not. If dude is doing something and he's just spinning wheels and he's not showing any type of progress, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to, let me try it. I bet y'all can make it work. Nah. I'm gonna find out what's working, implement it to my life, and like I said, if you want to be a healer, dude, I deal with people every day who they want to heal people, and whether it's to pray for people or to go in the spirit realm with people and lead people on like meditation journeys to deal with childhood wounds and regression and stuff like that. I got people making livings doing that full time. Like you could do it. And the way it works is whatever you want to do, you create it. Whatever you want to do, you can and dream big. And so we teach people to go back and find out what they wanted to do when they was a kid, before the dream got taken away, before you got comfortable at McDonald's. Like, what did you want to be and what do you want to do? And whatever it is, be creative, and you could do it. You really can, man. We're seeing people left and right, man, who are doing it, and it's encouraging and it's contagious. And I love. My passion is to see people thriving and do what they were put here to do. Not by default. I was a default truck driver. Like I wasn't destined to be a truck driver. You know, in this world, no matter like who you are, like you have something in you. Like you here like to bring something. You know what I'm saying? Like I believe in that. Like but it's just like, you know, you got to deal with like mental illness people. Like, and it's just like. Oh, no, it's hard, man. No, dude, I get mental illness people in my inbox daily, and sometimes it's overwhelming. It really is, especially with the content we deal with, man. I mean, we get a lot of those people, man. You know, but there's help there's hope for those people too. You know, people who are dealing with stuff in their mind that just doesn't work right.
I want to open their eyes and like saying like, you know, they have a vision too. Like they have something like, you know, I don't know. Like I give them like, you know, like advice. Like I give them like, you know, you know, some little bit of inspiration and shit like that. And like I see that in me. Like I'm like, what the heck? Like why do I talk like this? Like obviously, like dude, you know, this is gonna help like do something later on.
Get the vision. I mean, it could be as simple as starting a podcast, taking callers, and giving. What are we doing right now? We're taking calls, giving advice. People have questions, man. You could do this. You could totally do this. You go live on YouTube. The technology's there. One night a week, start it up, see if it happens, see if it's for you. Like there's so much opportunity out there.
I'll help you out, man. I'll be your first guest, bro.
Yeah, for real.
I'll come on there.
Kickstarted with thousands of views when Disl gets on there.
There you go.
No doubt, man.
Dope.
That's what it's about, bro. So, hey, man. Hey, I appreciate you calling, man. We're coming up on the end of the show, man. And we do this all the time, man.
Fam. I'm glad you called in, bro.
Hey, big love to respect to you guys, for real. Like, keep making that music, bro. You guys inspire me, bro, for real.
Hey, you inspire me, fam. You know what I'm saying? I know you've been showing mad, big love and support for a long time, bro, and I appreciate it to the fullest. We're gonna be in contact. We're gonna chop it up, man. You know, you can always hit me up anytime on the messages on the gram and shit.
All right, it's good to hear you guys, man.
All right, brother. Bless, man. Peace.
Likewise, fam. Peace and love.
It's always good to connect, man. And doing like live shows, people are like, "Well, you need to record your shows and then go back and edit them," which we do editing on the podcasting end. But I love being able to take calls, man, and be reachable. And sometimes nobody calls in, but sometimes it's those calls, man, who just like you get to talk to your favorite artist, your favorite rapper, and then you may have a life-changing conversation with your favorite rapper, man.
It made my day right now.
Exactly, both sides.
You can tell I've been knowing dude for a minute.
Man.
Quite some time, and you know we've been connected for a while.
Dude, so I've been interviewing people that I look up to, and like researchers and even artists. There was a band that I was really big into when I first got into church and stuff. It was a Christian hardcore metal band, and he rapped and told poetry over metal music, and I loved it. This was back in like 2001. that I found out about these guys. And I've been listening to them for years. I interviewed them on the show the other day. And I'm like starstruck. I'm talking to like one of my favorite MCs, if you want to call them that, but my favorite, just poetically intricate, man. This guy's a huge influence on what I'm doing. And I'm talking to him. And then I'm talking to Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony for 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? So
that was a good one.
You can make it happen, dude. Like, you just do it, man. Whatever, just find out what you want to do. And there's so many, but find out what you want to do, but then how to do it. Then that takes the trial and error. Okay, this works, this don't work, and stuff. And so
I think even finding out, like, you know, what you want to do, how you, you know, man, I feel like I'm so fortunate that I early in life found my calling to be a rapper. I didn't know that it would be to be using my talent to do what I do now, but I knew from an early age, yo, this is what I need to do. And from the moment I started rapping, you know, not that now the validation from other people, but of course back then, my hope, bro, from the first time I rapped in front of people, nobody ever said, nah, kid, rapping ain't for you. Yeah. It was always, yo, you need to be a fucking rapper. Yeah. And as I got older, it got more popular. You need to be famous. You're gonna be a famous rapper. All of that. So, but I think most people don't find that early on, and especially because of the way society is. Like, you know, there's basically this straight and narrow path. Go to school. You have these options of what you can do with your life, and they're very limited. Yeah. And most people don't really get an opportunity to explore all these different possibilities of what they could be passionate about and what they could be good at.
We're in a good place right now with the internet allowing us to do that. The internet allows us to do that. Just look at these companies that are starting up all over the place, like Uber and stuff. Like, you can do what you, even if you want to work for Uber, you can do what you love to do, have a car, and then drive people around at your own convenience. You want to work for a couple hours, turn your app on, Uber.
Yo, that Uber's a good, if you
I did it for a couple times, man. I drove people.
As a rapper too, on everything, that's a good way to promote your music. I'll be bumping my shit in the car every time, like having CDs, like, oh, y'all like
signed up, man.
CDs, like, boom.
I did 2 rides, man. I did 2 rides and made $100. And did 2 rides. Yeah. It was, but then,
and they called it a rap.
I called it. Well, they wanted me to take my car down to get an inspection, and I didn't know if my car could pass the inspection at the time. So
I hear, not to get off topic, but I've seen just briefly things about Uber being like bogus business. They do their drivers dirty somehow, and I don't even know. But that's a whole nother topic.
Man, if you just talk to the drivers, and most of them, they love it. They work when they want to work, and then if they go to school, and then when they get off of school, even if you're driving from point A to point B, you turn your app on if you work for them, and you can pick up people and make.
Oh yeah, on the way. Yeah.
A lot of independent artists, a lot of my friends who are doing it, a lot of musicians, rappers, man, they're doing it. And it's working, and they inspired me to go out there and do it. I had fun. I only did 2 of them, and I would have kept doing it if I wouldn't have had to do the inspection. I didn't think my car could pass the inspection at the time, but it was fun. Yeah. So anyway, look, man, we done did over 2 hours and 20 minutes, and so.
Oh yeah, wow, it's been great, man. It's been great.
Yeah, we need to do them more often, man. Even get some other artists on here. I know The Voice would love to sit down with us and do like a 3-way thing as well.
Hey, man, anytime, bro. I enjoy it. I definitely do.
What happened with the?
I like talking. I could talk, so that's not a problem for me. Anytime, bro.
What happened with V-City?
You will not have a shortage of things to talk about ever.
Exactly. So. This is so much going on.
Yeah.
What happened with V-City? Where's he at?
V-City, he was here. He was here for 3 months. He was supposed to stay 6 months, but he had an unexpected, he was here. I was paying his stay and all of that. And then he had some debt, some bills that he had to pay that I was covering for him as well. But he had forgotten about one particular debt that he had. And it was something that I couldn't really help him out with. So, and he had to return. If he didn't go back, it would have been a situation with with the finances and stuff. So, his trip was cut short, but it was a great time while he was here. We got a lot of music done. We started doing the more YouTube videos, and he was doing the editing, and that was cool. But after he left, I was just kind of like, man, it's just like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I could do it myself, but the dynamic of us two, it's just, for me, I'm like, if I don't have to do something and I'm not really it's not really fun for me, I'm probably not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because honestly, I've tried to, like, don't get me wrong, I'll still do a sit down and do a just talk video. Yeah. But like, to go out places, kind of vlogging, and I've tried it by myself, and it just feels more of a chore than like something I enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah. We were at the same spot for a minute, man, and we talked about it, about vlogging, about doing reaction videos and stuff like that. Stuff that, and a lot of it's fun. It is fun, but then you have this fan base who you're introduced to something totally new to them, and most of them are like, "What is this?" They don't want to see that side, even though that's a legit side. They don't want to see it either, and that opens up a whole can of worms as well. But I learned. I started doing Pokemon videos and stuff, man, and video game stuff, man. And they were like, "What the hell?" Like they didn't like it, but I loved it, and I do it with my daughter, and we game and stuff. Me and my wife game. This is our game room. I got game posters. Look at all that. We are video game junkie. We love the game, man. So this is the game room.
I played a little NBA this summer. I was like, when I was a kid, I could play video games. When I got older, even as a teenager and stuff, I've had very short attention for video games. I got bored of them quickly.
I'm so competitive, and I'm still competitive.
I was too. I'm gonna be real with you. I think, and people always gave me a hard time about this, and I'm not bullshitting. I always used to bang cats up in video games. I used to slay, but only sports. All I played was sports.
Madden and basketball.
I used to just dominate. And it would get boring to me. And the big thing was they would always, you just quitting while you on top because you don't want anybody to take you out. You know what I'm saying? Like, because cats would do that. But honestly, it just would get boring to me. But even now, I sit down and I try to play a video game. It'll be cool for like a few days, a week. Yeah. Even by myself.
Oh yeah, you're older and you got other things.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like I don't, like.
But hey, I'm telling you,
I wanted to check this one out just because I got a song Call of Duty of the recent project where I'm like, what I say, Xbox 360, PlayStation 4. When I was just a kid, I couldn't wait to explore all the technology. So like, I was like, man, you know what? Let me do that for the kid in me. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me do that for the kid that always wanted to see what if when I was 10, if I would have seen what the video games are now, I would have lost my fucking mind. I'd have been like, yo.
And what about this? And then knowing that you could do it for a living and get paid to play video games.
No, we were talking because he's my first cousin's son. He's into video games and he's now into YouTubing and he's like 10 years old. And, I was telling his parents, like, hey, look, obviously I have things that I would prefer that any child does. Yeah. But this is not my child. It's not my place to ultimately that kid is going to do whatever. They're not like super well off or anything. So I'm like, look, if that's what he's into already, if that's what he wants to do, encourage it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what he's going to do anyway. He's going to be playing video games. So if he can get on YouTube and help y'all out, help himself out, make some money from it, it's better than him running in the streets or doing something else, or I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, if it was up to me, I would want him to have his face in a book and, you know what I'm saying? Like, getting knowledge and, but that's not my place, and I know his parents aren't gonna lead him down that path either. Yeah. So ultimately, it's like, okay, this kid will probably end up just going to school, maybe just getting some kind of job, and just whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, if the alternative is playing video games for a living, play the video games, young man. Play the video games.
Yeah, my mom and my grandmother used to argue and fight over that because my mom was like wanting me to get off the game, and she'd kick us out the house. Y'all get outside and go play. So we go play basketball and stuff. But eventually we get into ruckus, man. Like I was talking about earlier, I was like breaking into people's houses and just doing just mischief, man. You know what I'm saying? And we'd always get into stuff. And my grandmother was like encouraging me with the gaming systems and want me to stay inside, and it keeps us occupied. It gives us something to do.
At home, safe.
Exactly. And so my mom and my grandmother would kind of be at odds. And my grandmother would buy me like the new systems and stuff and games and take me to rent games. And I'd literally stay in there all day, like 12 hours, 13 hours, playing RPGs and playing sports games and creating a full roster of team. Like I created all my friends at school on the team, and we play basketball games and football. I was just creating, man, and doing that. And because when that took it to another level as a kid, of being able to put yourself in the game and make your little dude go out there and play basketball.
Oh, that was always my favorite.
Yeah.
That was always, that's dude, even now when I went with this.
It take me an hour or two to create my person. Yeah. My wife would be like, "You're not even gonna play the game. You're gonna sit here and create your character for 2 hours." And it's just right now. I'll create a character for 2 hours and play the game for 10 minutes. Man, this game's whack. And just
exactly,
off,
bro.
You know?
That was like me with this basketball game. They had the face scan, all of that. I was like, "Yo, are you for real right now?" I was like, "What is this?" Bro, but that's how you know I ain't for video games, because I had a long conversation with sis. I played that. I got into it. It's like that whole career mode. Yeah. And I just started having, like, I started philosophizing about, on real, like, conspiracy? That's how it's not even conspiracy, okay. Just like the game, whatever, the career mode, the light, it just, that's how my mind works now. Like, I can't watch a movie, or I can still enjoy it. Yeah. But like, nothing is for me anymore just what it is. Yeah. Everything is going to make me think about something deeper and make me question something, or
it comes and goes for me. It comes and goes. Because I could be watching a movie, like, I'm really into thrillers. I'm into some horror stuff. I love thrillers, man. I love movies that will that make you deal with all your emotions. Yeah. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna cry. You're gonna be scared. Yeah. Like, if you can deal with a movie that makes you cry and makes you scared and makes you, dude, the new movie Get Out, that Get Out movie. God, I
have not seen it yet.
Dude, that movie is an experience, but you'll like it too. Because there's so much deep revelation in it that when you watch it, and that's a movie you got to watch twice, honestly. Like, you're not going to be able to catch stuff until you find out the ending, and then you go back and you're like, wow, it changes the movie as you're watching it. So, but there's so much in it, and you think you're watching one movie, and then there's a twist, and you're like, oh, I'm watching a different movie. This movie is about this now. Yeah. And I thought it was about slavery, and it got real deep and awkward in the place. I was like, whoa, they're like kidnapping black people to be slaves. And that's really what dude, it's a deep movie. You got to, I don't want to give it away. I'm going to watch that movie. Sure. And that movie deals with all your emotions, because it deals with a thriller and scary stuff, horror stuff, that genre. But then they tied in just enough comedy to give you a bit of relief as you're on the edge of your seat. And then you laugh, and you're like, oh, my God, wow. And you laugh. And it's weird how they did it. It's a phenomenal movie, man.
Yo, have you seen, I'm watching right now a show, actually, sis put me onto it. And I'm enthralled in it. I just, I usually I'll just put something on it, like, before I go to bed, if I'm not reading. I haven't been reading recently, but usually I'll read before bed or just watch. Oftentimes, honestly, I like to just, because my day is consumed with the work I do, which is always like about knowledge. And so oftentimes I'd like to just put some comedy on. Yeah. Just, unwind with that and not think about anything, because I've been doing it all day. Yeah. But because all my work revolves around that. So, but anyway, just recently though, I started this show, the 08.
08.
Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it, yeah, but I haven't.
Yo, it's crazy, bro. It's like sci-fi, but you'll like it because it's on that, what happens when we die, different realm, different dimension. You should check it out. It's like one of the better shows that I've seen in a long time.
I have to check it out. We're watching Ozark right now, me and my wife. Ozark. That's one on Netflix, and very much along the lines of Breaking Bad. I was a huge Breaking Bad fan, and very much along those lines. But it's kind of like the whole thriller. I love the thrillers. I love the stuff that keeps you on the edge of your seat. I can't stand action movies. I'm just not. It doesn't do it for me. But if you have action in a thriller, I'm cool with that.
Right.
Action movie fighting
I
the whole time.
I never was into just action.
Triple X and like
beating people up and killing people like
Fast and Furious.
It has to at least have a good storyline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a really good, because that's to me, I could watch any kind of movie. If there's a good storyline, like to me, for example, I haven't seen the new one because we don't have a theater in the town I live in. The nearest theater is like 40 minutes away, so I don't really even bother to go to the theater. But the Planet of the Apes series, the last one, the Rise of the Planet of the Apes, bro, that's probably one of my favorite movies, if not my favorite movie. You're talking
about symbolism and deep revelation embedded in it. That movie's got a lot of stuff too from many angles,
so many levels, and especially, obviously the whole aspect of just revolution, of uprising, revolting, and then also that it's animals. Being an animal rights activist. That's a whole other way to look at it. There's so many layers to it, bro. But just aside from all of that, even if I wasn't any of that and I didn't look at it from that perspective, from a movie, like how could you not? I've always cheered for the underdog, for the uprising, for the impossible to be done. And I mean, that movie, if that doesn't epitomize all of that, when he fucking says no, like, yo, everybody like, whoa, what the fuck?
That's a crazy one, man.
Oh man, I don't think I watched a movie where I got, when they like, to me, it wasn't goosebumps. I was crying like when they made it. You know what I'm saying? Like that to me was like, yo, like that shit straight up made me cry.
That one's weird because you don't know who to root for. Like, I don't know if I should be for the monkeys or for the humans or for those trying to bridge the gap. Like, I don't know who's the good guys.
I had to be for the apes because the apes, I'll always be for any group of oppressed people. Yeah. I don't give a fuck. Everyone's oppressed on a level. The oppressor is oppressed. To oppress, you have to be mentally oppressed in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So everyone can be empathized with and sympathized with, but there are also levels to that. Anyone who is being directly, blatantly oppressed and in any type of way, I'm rooting for them. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm rooting for that uprising. And in that situation, the apes, especially, like, in that movie, of course, that was pretty, that was pretty obvious. Especially now in these new ones, it's a little different. In that one, don't give it away, but I know how the storyline goes. But in that one, in the first one, the Rise of the Planet of the Apes, because they hadn't advanced yet, they weren't militarized. They were just apes who just got smart and were in captivity and were like, fuck this shit. And all we want to do is go to the forest and have y'all leave us the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Like, how can you not root for the apes in that situation?
Yeah, somebody saying in the chat room, Chris Garner, he says, but the apes eventually repress the humans and the roles kind of shift.
Yeah, see, I know that. You don't give away the whole movie.
I haven't seen the new one. I'm just talking about the old ones. Yeah.
Right, no, I know. Even from the old, I know that. So of course, but you can't watch that movie knowing that. That's not fair. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't know that. You got to put that out of your mind.
Yeah.
And then just in that situation, root for the clear group to root for, which were the apes.
Yeah.
But of course, that's why that series is phenomenal. I mean, it touches on so many moral.
I
You know what I'm
wanted.
saying?
I got this collection of older movies, and it was that one. It was The Day the Earth Stood Still, I believe is the name of it, when the alien comes down and stuff. I
Yeah.
got these older movies, and I wanted my daughter to watch some of them. And we were watching old episodes of The Twilight Zone, and this is when she was real little, man. I was just showing her class, and even now, like when she's getting ready for school, I'll put on Fred Sanford. Or like Gummy Bears. I just out the blue, man, just showing her some of the stuff that she may never hear about, you know.
Yeah, that's
And
dope.
so we were watching Planet of the Apes, and this was several years ago. She was little. Well,
The original, huh?
yeah, the original. We're sitting on,
okay.
and then so there's the opening scene of where like one of the one of the ships crash on the planet. And somebody else goes there or something. I don't know the exact plot, but they get there and they're going through the ship, the crash ship, and there's a dead woman who was on the ship, a woman named Stewart, and she's on. And they find her, and she's all decomposed and looks like a zombie. She's dead,
Right.
and my daughter laughed at it when she sees, like that part's funny. She laughed. I was like, you laughing at the? She said, rewind it. I want to show Mama. Rewind it. She was little.
Yeah.
All right, you want me to rewind it and see that part again? So I rewind it, and she's seen it, and she's like, ah. She like had a panic. She freaked out and had a panic attack. She watched it the first time, and she thought it was funny. She made me rewind it, and she had a panic attack. Stuart, and now I'll mention Stuart, and she's scared to death of Stuart.
Kids are so interesting.
This dead corpse in the beginning of Planet of the Apes that just freaks her out. No. Somebody else said in the chat room, Kanto, which is he's an admin. He says that he watched the movie Get Out last night. That's also, we mentioned it. He watched it last night.
Oh, okay,
he also said he watched the new Stephen King's It. That's a great film too.
I can't wait,
That's
bro.
good.
That's like, that's from my childhood.
I know, right?
Yeah, if you
It's
from
good.
our generation.
I took my daughter to see that. It's good.
Oh man, I have such a memory of the television series that aired that to me was like, oh my God, it was the most horrifying thing as a child. So they really gonna have to do a good job with this one to impress me.
They did it justice because they stayed true to the original. But I'm glad that it wasn't just a remake. They did add some extra stuff that you're like, of some things that they didn't like. That they changed it was good, man. They did it really good. So something will happen, and you're like, okay, that's exactly what happened. And then they take it to the next level, like, whoa, they took this guy deep really quick. I didn't expect it, but it was good, man.
I'm over here. I just gotta wait for a good bootleg copy to come out for me to watch the movies that I watch because I can't. I mean, yeah, if there was a theater here in town, I would definitely go, but it's not really all that urgent. And honestly, to be truthful, nothing like watching a movie in the comfort of my own bed at the crib, just laid out. You know what I'm saying?
I almost regretted it because there was people talking the whole time, and I was dreading it going in. And there's kids running around and people talking. And I was like, man, I hope this doesn't ruin it. And it was getting bad, but
yeah, the last movie I went to see in the theater, I went with Sis, and we went to go see what was that movie? Elysium with Matt Damon.
That's old.
That's a great movie.
Yeah,
that was a while ago, and I remember being like, yo, and it wasn't even crowded, but like the seats, I'm a big dude. The seats are small, uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? You got to go to the bathroom. You got to walk out. Got people back here with some little kid making noise.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I'd rather just wait at the crib until a good copy comes out and just be comfortable and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Especially like if you got a surround sound.
Oh yeah,
if
you got it set up. Yeah, that's how I do it with mine. Like it's funny. My wife gets on to me when we watch a movie. I crank it up.
Yeah.
So it's like boom, 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 and stuff. She's like, "Why you got it so loud?" I was like, "We in the theater. This is the theater."
Hey, it's 90% of the viewing experience is sound.
Exactly, and some of it. When I want to take my surround sound further, I've got a bar. I've got one of the bars, but I want to come with the surround sound on the sides and stuff too. But I mean, watching movies are an experience, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's art, and that's something that I'm trying to explore again with creating our music and our videos and stuff, is kind of taking it to the next level. So you guys who are watching, I'm going to be doing a lot more script writing and doing a lot more alien stuff of peering into like pretty much the horror genre. Well, I'm working on this video for Watchmen right now, and I've blown myself away. Like, I'm excited that we took the time to write a script and got this kid to play this kid who gets abducted, and we actually have CGI UFOs that look really good off of a low budget. What we're doing, and I'm excited to get the video out, and it's going to be out in probably within hopefully 2 weeks or so. But it's looking really good. I spent some money yesterday and bought an alien costume, like a big head and the arms and hands and stuff. And I'm just going to be recreating some of those scenes from the 80s, from the alien movies, and just kind of recreating them and putting my own touch on them to put in our videos and stuff, man. Because we talk a lot about space and aliens and stuff anyway, and I never can. I can't write my own treatments to my own music. For some reason, I can't, because my mind goes about what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm talking about ascension. Okay, I'm talking about meditation. Okay, I'm talking about money. Like, that's how my mind works. But if you come with your song, I can listen to your song and weave a script into your video, into your song. And I never could do that. So we're gonna try it again. And this one for Watchmen is dope.
That sounds amazing, bro. I really want to see that. Look forward to it. Man, I wish we were close. I wish we were around so you could actually, like, you know what I'm saying, like, do some and film some, because it's hard. Like this, it'd be difficult, man. Like, I mean, maybe unless, you know, maybe we could work on something where I'm not even necessarily in the video. And, you know, you just come up with some kind of concept that you could then, obviously, you know, I would
they're just going to be
whatever has to be funded. Yeah. And you could get actors if needed and just come up with like a scenario.
Yeah, we could probably like do that, man. Even Watchmen.
I definitely love those kind of videos. It's just like, you know, at this point, I'm limited to the resources I have here, you know, so it's usually my videos are just the basic standard rap video.
Yeah, we got to take it further, man. We really do. Like those videos who like make you cry, make you think. You know what I'm saying? The songs are there. Like, we got the music down locked, but
for sure.
It's like the videos. We got to, like, I've done so many just performance videos or whatever, and I'm just ready to take it, because I think one of the first videos I did was about we did a song about night terrors and sleep paralysis. Waking up in the middle of the night, being pinned to your bed by like
I've experienced it.
We did.
I actually just recently, not too long ago, I had an episode of sleep paralysis.
That was like the first. We did that song, and that was easy to write a video, because I'm just writing about what we're talking about, and I'm talking about waking up in the middle of the night. And I had a kid play me in that video, and he was getting pinned down in his sleep, and then it shot to me, and as an adult having those experiences, and he was playing video games and stuff, and really I was able to write it, but it was easy because we talked about everything that happened. So me, the voice, and a guy named Big Angel, and it was a really cool video for when we first started it. But I'm gonna be doing more than that, because when we put that out, it caught people. It made a big impact quick, and then kind of died down. But the people who've seen that, who've experienced sleep paralysis, they're like, "Oh wow, you're talking about this."
Have you seen the movie? What's that shit called?
The Fourth Kind or something?
Nah, when V City was here, we watched it, because basically he's like not like you and I. He only watches horror movies, like in comedies, but he's a horror fanatic.
Yeah.
So like we would just, and I love horrors too. So me and him would just, you know, I mean, I love all,
being single and everything. I know you love horrors.
Yeah. So we what was the movie called though? We watched the damn bro.
What were they doing?
Like the Shadow People. I don't know if that's the name of the movie, but that's what it's about. It's about sleep paralysis, and basically it's all about like what sleep paralysis actually. It's like when that happens, it's these shadow people who are coming to like take your soul or something.
Oh, was it aliens though, or no?
I can't, man. I don't remember what it exactly was, but But it was decent. And the crazy shit is that this most recently when I had my sleep paralysis, it was after he had left and after we watched that movie. And bro, I remember actually while I was, because now I'm aware of it. So I've only had it maybe 2 or 3 times in my life. And this time when I had it, at first, like I kind of panicked, but then I was like, no, I know what this is. You know what I'm saying? And I was able to just chill myself out, but was still not chill, but like wasn't fucking. But I remember the thought even coming into my head, like, oh, what if the shadow people come and get me? But I was like, nah, that was just a movie. Yeah. But it was funny though. I hit V City up the next day, like, yo, fam, I think the shadow people got me.
I had it happen. I had it happen to me recently. It's like when you're in those places of like you're sleeping, you're sleeping, but your dream is that you're laying in your bed trying to go to sleep. Like even as a kid, like I've had those crazy nightmares and those. I fall asleep, but my dream is me still laying in the bed, and something creeps up on the foot of the bed and walks up on my chest and is sitting on my chest, and I can't move. Like those are the most terrifying dreams ever, man, and you feel it. But I have had the encounter of being awake, and like even I was a kid, man. I was like 4 years old when I had that encounter and felt these things pinning me down, and I felt them there laying on me, and I'd seen them like these shadows. And it's not that I couldn't speak. It's that I didn't want to. I wanted to act like I was asleep, like I was scared to death.
Right,
what the hell is going on? You know, that happened to me as a kid, and that's kind of what piqued my interest in the occult or in the horror movies or in the God and just spirituality, wanting to know like what's going on, because there's other stuff happening when we're in the middle of the night. We're sleeping, like stuff's real, man, and getting into areas and things like that. You know, when I had the sleep paralysis, it was like just basically like the standard kind that you hear about. Like, you know, I woke up. You just couldn't move.
And I couldn't move. And I tried to scream. You know what I'm saying? Like, but for whatever reason, I think it's just instinctual. Because both times I had it, I can remember. And I think I might have even, because I could hear, but I couldn't hear myself scream. But I heard my dog bark.
Yeah.
I don't know if he barked because I screamed or, you know what I'm saying? It was just, it's such a weird, indescribable feeling though. Just being frozen, but being conscious, being able to hear and see, but not really. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It just is mad weird.
It's
the
weird
first time it happened, I was freaked out because I didn't even know what it was, bro.
Yeah.
First time, I never even heard of sleep paralysis. I just woke up and was fucking frozen. And I remember like that this time, I think that when I woke up, I just screamed instinctually. The first time I was like fucking like screaming for help. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like nonstop. Like what the, you know what I mean? And that shit was crazy, bro.
Like people have that, and it's a you know, they have scientific terms for it, and it's when you wake up but your body's still in like REM sleep and it hasn't fully woken up yet, and you don't have like the motor functions or whatever. So, and they say it can all be explained. That's all cool. We could deal with that, and it seems like what you've experienced and your mind just went to the dark places because you had some kind of reference to kind of frame of reference that this could be what's happening. But the weird thing is when people are having the encounters and there's beings in their room, or there's something on their chest, or they have these other names for it. They call it the old hag syndrome. They'll have those nights where they wake up and they're pinned to their bed and there's an old lady a witch screaming in their face, or a little shadow person sitting on their feet. Like, okay, what is that? Okay, what is that part? So why are people having those encounters where they wake up and there's a little man standing next to their bed and they can't move? Like, that's a legit thing. Like, people are having it.
The only thing I could possibly think is that it's some form of hallucination.
Yeah.
Who knows what the brain does in certain, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm you know, bro, my mind is so open. I don't discount anything. There was some witch in my face yelling while I was. Oh my God! I've had
weird stuff happen like that when I was a kid and I was sick. Like when you're laying in bed with the flu and you have all that crazy stuff going on. When you were on the flu and your body's hot. Like I've had been taking the weird memories and stuff as a kid that I don't remember, and then get older and I'm taken back to the same places with this with these fevers and stuff, and it's just some weird stuff that goes on in the psyche, man. Like you said, is it some type of ancient memory that we're unlocking, and it did happen to us? Kind of explains the fear of snakes. Our ancestors were afraid of snakes and things like that. And so now we have this instinctual, we see a snake, we get scared type deal, right? So maybe even in the psyche, when you wake up with the sleep paralysis, you know, maybe they were always on the prowl and always were you know, being invaded by other armies and other tribes and other nations, that they would catch them in their sleep. Like that was a tactic that people would do, is to go in and catch them in their sleep. But who knows if it's just passed down like regressed memories or what, you know?
Yeah, there's so much of that we don't even know, you know, so much. I mean, that genetic, you know, things that are passed on thousands and thousands of years genetically from our ancestors that have been, may not be natural to us or inherent to us, but because the genetic, it was done so long that at this point it is part of our, you know what I'm saying? Like, one thing that I would say, and you know, even from a scientific standpoint, is like the craving for meat, for example. You know, that, sure, now it's very real, but I know we didn't always know as humans to hunt and to kill and to eat meat. Yeah. That was something we acquired. Therefore, the taste for it was also acquired. And now, yes, it's very real. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's just one example of how, you know, I mean, as men, I say this all the time, like, you know, it's hard it's tough being a man in the sense of like we were talking with the caller, T and Thoughts, earlier, and just, it is our primordial, you know what I'm saying, urge. It's so in us. It's so, I mean, this whole monogamy, relationship, marriage thing is so new to us as a species.
Yeah.
For the vast, vast, vast majority of our existence, our primary role as men was to plant our seed in as many women, fertile ground, if you will, as we possibly could. And that urge is still so deeply embedded in us.
Yeah.
How can we not still want to? Yeah. Now, of course, we have a different intellect now. Yeah. So we can try to fight those urges and successfully do so, many of them.
Yeah.
But it's not a surprise that most don't. Most can't. And that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, I'm maybe going a bit off topic here, but
no.
You know, it's just because, again, we've been so programmed to go against our natural urges that this is what you need to do. Everybody should be monogamous. Everyone should be in a marriage. And that's ridiculous. Yeah. Show me one thing that everyone should do that's right for everyone.
Yeah.
You
know, I don't.
That's the problem.
Just because we feel it, and it's that primal urge, and it's, you know what I'm saying, it's primordial. It's been here since the beginning. We've been doing it as a species, right? Even with the whole thing with the anger and like feeling like we should attack people, or we feel threatened, so we need to kill them. Like, we have to legit have to fight against those urges and stuff, right? We feel like our lives are in danger, so we need to kill them before they kill us. Like, we have to evolve past that and say, okay, we don't have to kill these people. We can stay away from them. We can warn them. We can do whatever. We can report them to the police, whatever it is. Like, you don't have to fight and put them fist out or whatever and you know what I'm saying, make war with those people. And so just because we feel that, you know.
Nah, of course.
I have to keep myself in check. I really do. Like, people threaten me or make a pass at my wife, I literally want to put a motherfucker in the grave. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really do.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. You know, there's a lot of those. I mean, going again back to the meat, even if it's at this point such a deep urge in us, we can say, wait, is that the right thing to do? You know, we can make these decisions, and we should, especially when it's going to hurt other people. I think with relationships, I do genuinely think that we don't have to. If you want to be single, if you want to be not in a relationship, there's nothing wrong with that. And society and no one else should make you feel like there is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's the life you want to live, it's better, because the truth is, most people can't. If they could be monogamous and faithful, and then it would be a lot different. the relationships wouldn't be as statistically failures as they are, and the institution of marriage and all of that. It's just people aren't real about it. People don't recognize, they don't know themselves enough to say, wait, this isn't for me. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, I think there's definitely a lot. I mean, for women too. You know, I was actually watching a woman on YouTube talk about this just the other day, and she was saying how, you know, women with a lot of women have this attraction to quote unquote alpha males and will put up with them treating them like shit. They say they want a nice guy, but they still go after the jerk. Mm-hmm. Why is that? It's kind of the same thing. Like the alpha male, they've been, you know, in the vast majority of our existence, women's role was to, you know, find that alpha male who is going to only do one thing, provide and protect.
Yeah.
It didn't matter how the emotional,
that's
you
crazy.
know, the way he treated you emotionally and mentally. All that mattered was he's going to protect you and he's going to feed you.
Now we call it,
and your kids.
Nice guys finish last.
Right. And you
so
know,
the asshole gets the girl, and the guy who's being a gentleman, they want the bad boy. And I got friends who deal with this, and it's sad. It really is. But I've got friends, man, who are the perfect gentleman, who would the type of dudes who would take their coat down and lay it in a puddle of water so the woman can walk on it. Maybe even, you know, like all kinds of stuff. But they'll overlook that guy and go for the asshole who's in prison and tatted up, and he's just dirty and stuff. But he's, you know, there's a lot of stuff to it, man. But it kind of, the nice guys finish last. It's true, man.
Look, it's deep. There's on both sides. Men, we want to plant our seed. Women, they want on the deepest genetic level. And the thing is, it's almost hard to blame these people because they're so unaware of it. They're so unaware. They don't even know why they feel that way.
Yeah.
They're completely detached from.
Keep making the same choice over and over.
Exactly. And they'll straight up tell you, I don't know why. I don't know why. It's just who I am. It's what I, you know.
It's that. And it comes into what we're talking about earlier as far as like the you know, the trauma of the past of the daddy figure. What kind of daddy did you have? Or was you or was you in a relationship as a teenager where you were in a certain relationship with a guy who fit this persona? Now you're going to stay away from all guys like that. Or in many cases, I know this opens up a whole can of worms, but all guys are dogs and they're not going to be faithful. So I don't want guys anymore. Right. That type of deal. And that's totally applicable. You know what I'm saying? It's not every case for people who choose that lifestyle, but it's definitely there, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All guys are dogs. I don't want guys. I'm attracted to women who they're going to be there for me emotionally. They care about me. Guys just want to have sex and move on to the next one. Like they view guys like that. That's not the truth though. Like all guys aren't like that. All guys aren't assholes. Or
well, of course. Look, there's no truth that can generalize for all of any.
Exactly, and that's where we fall into problems, man.
Of course, but if we're gonna be real, a lot of guys are, and that I'm a guy, and I will. I'm
a dog.
Yeah, a lot of them. But again, it goes back to our genetics and guys just not understanding that about themselves, because I think first you need to understand why that is before you can even control it. Before you can, you know what I'm saying? Like you need to get to the root of, wait, why am I out here being this unfaithful ass, why am I doing this?
And
only then can you really say, okay, I see. It's because it's basically my genetics. It's what's embedded in my DNA.
Yeah.
So now let me try to overcome that. You know what I'm saying? Because the easiest way out and the is, I don't know, it's just how I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's good to kind of know how you are too, because in the spiritual community we have the term "know thyself." Know thyself, and you shall be known. I look at that as something very applicable to our lives as far as knowing yourself, knowing what makes you tick. Okay, we can look at the anger issues, the fighting issues or whatever. Like, okay, what type of people set you off? Okay, well, you might not need to be around those type of people, or you may not need to go to this type of crowd, or you may not, like, me being married, I know where I don't need to go. As a married man, I don't need to go or hang around a bunch of women or form tight relationships of caring and pouring into women and them doing it to me, because then you form feelings and emotions, right? Know thyself. I have a lot of people who can't have alcohol at all because when they drink alcohol, it opens up the door to like, you know what? I want some pills, man.
Right.
And then they move from pills into smoking crack and smoking meth. Know thyself. If you have to know, if that keeps happening and over, don't drink at all. Some people can't drink. It's going to trigger them and they're going to go off the deep end. I know so many people who do that. I can have a couple drinks. I can watch a movie with my wife and drink wine or have a mixed drink or whatever and be fine. And I love doing that and makes you more talkative and you just open up. But there's people who you can come over, you offer them that drink, and they're going to drive home drunk, and they don't know themselves. They got to know what triggers them and how far they can go. I talked to a buddy of mine who always makes stupid decisions when he mixes alcohol and pills together, and he always does it. And I'm like, look, dude, you got to know your line. You can't cross that line. Don't cross it. You can tiptoe beside it. You can dance on that line. You can do spins on that line, but don't cross the line. Why do every time you go to a party, you're getting in fights? Why do every time you buy a brand new car, you wreck it like the same week? Like, come on, dude. You got to learn. You got to know yourself, man. What can you do? If you're going to drink and get shit-faced, do it at home. We ain't got to drive nowhere. You're going to, man, there's just so many people making stupid decisions that could be avoided, you know?
Knowledge of self, bro, is power.
Yep.
Because when you got knowledge of self, you can control yourself. That's how I see it. You know.
Oh, dude, we've just crossed 3 hours.
Yeah, I'm over here hungry, bro. I gotta go get me some dinner.
So I'm looking at the clock and I'm hungry, but then it's gonna be time to eat dinner in a couple hours because we stayed too long. I didn't do a good breakfast, so I'm just trying to have to. Am I gonna eat or am I gonna hang out? I think I'm gonna eat. But yeah,
man, I'm over here like a good hour past my dinner time, so I'm like, yo,
I'm too. Yeah. So hey, man, just give everybody, because there's people listening who have no idea who you are, man. Let them know what you do and you know what I'm saying, how they can find you.
Yeah, Disl Automatic is the name. DISL Automatic, direct, AUTOMA. So I mean, raptivist, conscious, political, hip hop, social, spiritual, all of that good stuff. I mean, y'all could check me out, YouTube, you search it, Google search, check me out on Instagram, Disl Automatic, plant-based bigness. I mean, really just, you could just search it. Honestly, that's what I tell people. You can find all of my stuff if you just do a Google search, Disl Automatic, or go to getbigontham.com, DislAutomatic.com. But, check out the music. That's really what it's all about for me. I do, I guess, some talking as well. I do a lot of talking, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll do some YouTube videos here and there, but it's the music. So yeah, just go check out my music if y'all into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, check him out, guys. He's online. Like I said, just Google his name. That's where, like, whatever platform you're on, if you like Spotify, if you like iTunes, just type his name in. It's just we're everywhere.
My most recent project, actually, Gems. That's on all the digital platforms, and it's also available for free download at getbigontham.com. So anybody who want to check that out, go for it.
Speaking of that, we have a collab on that album that we've done together, and we have people asking in the chat room. They want to know if we're going to work on any more music together, if we're going to do any more songs together.
Absolutely. I mean, all's well, plenty more in the future.
Yeah, because they're always good songs. Like Definitely. I said, once you have that bar, man, I can't go below this bar. And you work with people who can step up to that bar.
No doubt.
I know we got to go, but there was the place of like collabing with a lot of local artists and friends, even friends who did music, and we'd collab all the time and we'd feature them on songs. But when I set that bar for myself, like we would get verses from friends who couldn't make it past that bar, and I had to get to a place where I became the bad guy or I became arrogant. It's like,
Right.
You gotta re-record your verse, man. You
Yeah.
gotta add some syllables there. You gotta, dude. You're not even on topic. Like, come on, we can't do this anymore. Like, if we're gonna step the game up, if we're writing a song, you gotta be on topic. Why are you writing about this stuff and the song's nothing to do with that? And I had friends who sent me verses and record it, and I'm like, we're not using it, man.
Yeah.
So, but that's about creating new music and taking your art seriously and moving to the next level with it, you know?
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Did you ever have to do that?
You know, I don't think I've ever X'd anybody off of a track.
Yeah.
But I definitely, you know, even with like the people that I'm tight with, like, you know, I mean, I think they all kind of look to me anyways for, you know, with the lyricism and stuff. They know I've been doing this so long that it's just like, you know, second nature to me. So, you know, and a lot of them haven't been doing it as long, or
so
a lot of them look to me for some type of, you know, guidance with it. And so, you know, I've definitely given people advice, pointers, like, oh, maybe you should kind of flip this up here and there. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or just been like, you know, I'm not really feeling that chorus or whatever it may be. So definitely that, you know what I mean? But I actually, it's funny. I'm collabing with this dude, TK out of the Bronx. He's a vegan. We doing a vegan track, and I sent him the track. You know, I laid it down, and he was like, you know, when he heard it, he went nuts. And then the next day, he hits me up. He's like, man, you know what? I realized something the other day. I'm like, what's up, fam? You know, I thought he was gonna, you know, come with something like deep. Like, he's like, man, when cats get on tracks with you, they really need to step their game up, man. Yeah. I was like, yo, I appreciate that. That's a compliment for real.
Yep.
But, you know, I hope, I like that. I mean, you know, I hope it.
That's how you get better. That's how you get better.
Bro. Look, in this shit we do, you know, it's all love. Like, honestly, I don't look at anybody as my competitor. But when we on a track, there's a healthy level of competitiveness. That's okay. You know, as an MC, no one ain't trying to get outshine. You know what I mean? Like,
to be competitive, but then also look at it as the whole. Okay, I can't, because you don't want to copy the rhyming scheme. Maybe sometimes the track's good to like, okay, we're all coming the same way, but I like to bring something to the table, to an experience. So like even the song Agape that we did together, mine's a little bit laid back. I have seen the distant travelers in nighttime, and I'm laid back right through the star shine, whatever. And then Disl comes in at the end. Every morning when I wake up, they got on the street. See the street. He just kills it at the end. So it's a whole experience too. It's like, even though we're not like, I have to add more syllables, because you can get in that mind state too. But like that whole project is an experience, and everybody brings something beautiful to the table. But you have to be good to do that. You can't come with a whack verse and think that you brought something beautiful to the table, you know? So there is that, you know what I'm saying, competitiveness to it, to want to, and that's why I paid people early on for features. When I was a Christian rapper, gospel rapper, and was getting into the spiritual community and dealing with LCOB, the Lost Children of Babylon, who had it on lock. Those years they had it on lock, and they would charge, whether it was $100 for a feature or 200, 300, 250, whatever. Beast 1333, all these guys, whatever. I would pay to get them on the song, and okay, I have to prove myself, because you know, people know me as a corny white Christian rapper from the South, and I have a slang, so I have to say, okay, let me try to go deep with the knowledge. Let me try to step it up on the rhyming schemes. Let me bring something. Let me slave over these these lyrics and bring something beautiful to the table. And it worked. It worked. It was a competition, because it's cool to do that, so that now their fans, guess what? Who was itching to hear new LCOB music, Beast 33 fans are itching to hear new Beast 1333 songs. Pay them the money, get them the feature, all is well, and try your best to be the best one on the track. And now, guess what? Beast 1333 fans are what? Now TruthSeekah fans. Disl Automatic fans are now TruthSeekah fans. And that's part of it. It's part of the love and part of the community, too.
That's all love, bro. Yep. And, you know, I mean, like, bro, I've I've paid. Well, the only K Reno.
Oh yeah.
That's the only cat I paid for a feature. But anybody. The way I see it is like this. I'll always approach. Like that's the thing, bro. Oh, the voice. That's why off jump. I fucked with him heavy because he came in correct. Was well. I didn't know him like that at that time. Exactly. He came and paid for the fee, and since then, now we fam. I'll do every song. It don't matter. Like, let's go. No money, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's because, bro. And I've had to tell so many people. Like, so I'm sure you got in it too, fam. Coming at with their hands out, expecting like, what the fuck do you take me for, fam? Yeah. Like. That to me just says you don't even value what I do.
Yeah.
Like if you expected me to hit you with a feature for free without any kind of, it don't even have to be money. At least come at me like, look, fam.
I got a solid fan base.
Yeah, I really value what you do. I don't got money now. I don't have a lot of following to cross promote, but you know what? Maybe I'll make it up to you like this. I could do this. I could something, fam. At least come at me humbly. Like I've had somebody come at me like that, like yo, for a feature, and I was like, well, I charge, da. And they was like, oh, you know what? I don't have money, but I understand. Thanks, I really appreciate it. Yada. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do that shit on the love for you because you came at me so correct, bro.
Yeah.
I've had people flip they shit. I'll never forget this one dude. He comes at me. It was after the first mixtape drop. Yo, what's up, man? Your shit's fire. How much? Not how much. Can I get? What's up with a feature? I'm like, yeah, bro. But if you could toss me a little something, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Dude
flipped his shit. Well, who the fuck you think you are? You should be. I dropped 20 albums. He sends me his Wikipedia page that he made. Sure enough, 20 albums out. He's like, I should be charging you for a feature. I'm like, fam. You came to, if I came and asked you for a feature,
that's how that works.
You should charge me for it. And secondly, showing me your 20 albums that nobody has ever heard of is not helping your cause.
Yeah.
It's making you look even more of a bogus ass dude.
Yeah.
And then he started to get into all this, like, and plus, he sent me the track. He asked me for the feature. Sent me the track before I could even respond. And, bro, I heard the track. No, I forgot how it went, but I know I responded I forgot the exact order, but then I heard the track after I told him I charge, and he already then I heard the track, and this guy was on there, like, talking about thugging in the streets and shit, and, like, just completely not on my vibe. I could see one thing if you talking about thugging in the streets, and I talk about my history in the streets and relate it to now and certain things. But this cat was like talking like he's still on the block with his Glock and da. I'm like, damn, why would you even come at me like that? Like, do you listen to my music?
Yeah.
So I've had so many, but man, people are weird, bro. People are people.
Paying for features eventually gave me the confidence to get good, and gave me the confidence to charge for features. So if somebody comes to me, like you're saying, and I don't know who you are, if we did all the features that we get inboxed on, we'd be busy. It's everybody. And then if you're gonna approach me or Disl or anybody for a feature, just make sure your quality's good before you do that. Because people record stuff on their cell phone. And they're like, yeah, man, I got an iPhone. I got an iPhone with these earbuds, man. It's a recording app. It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
So, okay, I see your potential. I'm good at hearing, like seeing a vision.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, man, work on this, do that, try to record like this, watch some of my tutorials when I go live, and we, I can see the vision. I see where you're going, man, but you got to work on your delivery. Even if it's just him talking. I've had guys hit beats and they're just, hey, my name is so-and-so. I'm rapping on the beat. You can't take but they're saying good stuff. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I could see this. I could see this being something. Right. You want to be a good rapper. This off-key stuff, it could still work. You know what I'm saying? I think quality is a big part of it. If you're gonna approach somebody, because I get inboxes all the time. Hey, check me out. I'm so and so. I'd love to get a verse from you, and they let me hear stuff that's just quality's bad. So,
Yo, quality and be prepared. Like, to me, this is how I'll tell the listeners, anybody who's ever trying to get a feature from any more established, I suppose, if you will, artist or whatever.
Yeah.
This is how I've always approached it. Is be ready, have the track done. All right, have a track done, ready. Your choruses, your verse with just a 16 bar, not 20, not 24, because rappers ain't trying. No, 16 bars, the standard. Have that ready, have it done. Approach the person. Don't just send them the track either. First approach them, ask them, and be ready. Be ready and do not expect anything from anybody. Nobody owes you shit.
You got to go out there and
Nobody owes you shit. I didn't come in this doing this. I didn't expect anything from anyone. I did not expect anyone to give me anything for free to help me out. No, and they did. But that's because everyone that I ever approached for help or for anything, I was fully ready to either pay or to provide them something of equal value.
Yeah.
Some type of service from me or something.
Yeah.
Because that is how the fucking world works. No, actually it doesn't. The world is not fair. This, what I'm saying, is fair. This is fair. And that's how it should be. You know what I'm saying? In all things.
Yep.
So, yo, I gotta go, fam.
I know, me too.
This computer,
bro. Hold you up, man.
All right, yeah, let's cut it. Let's cut it.
All right, brother. Appreciate you coming on, hanging out, man. We'll do it again very soon. We did 3 hours and almost 20 minutes, man.
Hey, it's been great, bro. I could go longer if I wasn't so hungry, but
I'm doing this full time. We got days ahead of us. Let's do it, man.
No doubt. I look forward to it. And big up to all your listeners, man. I appreciate you.
You too, brother. All right, shalom. Peace, brother.
All right, man. Big love and respect.
Later. Disl Automatic, get big on them. This is what we do, man. This is family, man. We've been working together for a couple years, and if you guys haven't heard our tracks together, we do have a couple songs together. Like I said, we have Agape is one that we have, and we also have his song Bust Back. That's on his album. I think that's it. We're definitely going to be working on some more very soon, so definitely go check out those tracks. Really good stuff. And check out his work in general, man. He's a really good dude, and I really like the direction that he's going. Him and just the whole crew, everybody who he's affiliated with, everybody who he promotes and stuff. It's all family. It's all love. And he also has some stuff coming out with The Voice as well. The Voice got some new tracks he's about to drop, and Diesel's on some of that stuff, so that's going to be good too. So here within the very near future, you will be able to hear some new tracks from us, and I really dig his work ethic and his creativity and what he brings to the table. You know, we always say, man, if I can find somebody as motivated as me, if I had another version of me out there who's getting it, somebody who's hungry to succeed, somebody who's good at what they're doing, good at making good music, like I can accomplish a lot of stuff. Well, Disl Automatic is the same thing. He's another person who's hungry and he's good at what he does. You could be hungry and not be good, or you can be good and not be hungry anymore. Many mainstream rappers and bands and things fall into that, to where they've already succeeded and they don't really have that drive to get out there and create something brand new and fresh. They've already done it. They've got those albums under their belt. But to see somebody who is still hungry and still in love with the genre and in love with the art, Disl Automatic is there, and I love to create with those people who do it out of love versus out of spite or out of the fact that you sent me money. Love those guys, man. So you can check that out. If you haven't heard the songs, you want to download them, it's always a perfect time for me to promote my Patreon. All of my albums are available for a donation, a monthly donation of $1, $5, $10 a month, whatever you want. You get access to 10 plus albums, and you get access to download everything that I've finished. As soon as I'm done, it's up on Patreon. As soon as a podcast is done, as soon as a video is done, the alert, you get access to a whole bunch of stuff. Go over there and check it out, man. We also got new merch as well. You can check all that stuff out on the website. Got some really cool merch, man. I'm excited about the merch game too, stepping it up. just did this really cool Manly P. Hall inspired shirt, and it's really dope. So go check that out, TruthSeekah.com. To sign up for Patreon, patreon.com/TruthSeekah. A little goes a long way. That's all I'll say. If you don't be shy if you only did $1 a month. I've seen people with Patreon pages who they have a podcast and they have the dollar section. People who are giving $1 a month. Well, dude, they'll have 5,000 people giving $1 a month. There's power. There's strength in numbers, man. It really means a lot. It helps us to continue to do what we're doing, bringing content. And bringing high quality content, good content. We got to pay these producers. I don't make beats. I'm limited in my video editing skills. Sometimes I have to pay a third party to come in and do some CGI and things like that. But trust me, hard work pays off, and I'm really excited for you guys to see some of the new stuff that I'm working on as far as the music and the videos as well. I'm excited. I love doing this, and you guys help me do it. So patreon.com/TruthSeekah. With that, I'm going to say peace and shalom. Make sure that you subscribe to the podcast. Share it out on your social media feeds. All the good stuff. I love you guys. Peace, peace.
Your way so much higher than mine. So much higher than mine. So much deeper than mine. So much deeper than mine.
Well, that does it for this episode, folks. To hear more episodes of the TruthSeekah podcast, head over to TruthSeekah.com. And if you're wanting to support the show and get rewards, go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/TruthSeekah.